Hello and welcome everybody to App Growth Week, our biggest and
Welcome.
best. Hello, Galina. How are you?
Hi, David. I'm very good, very good. I'm so excited and happy to see you. So I just started right in. So please go ahead, tell us all what are we doing here.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'll tell you what we're doing is, Galina, we're having the biggest and best virtual event uniting the app and gaming developers worldwide. This event is brought to you by our wonderful selves here at Split Metrics for the second year in a row. Yes, backed by popular demand. And we are looking, as I said yesterday, to educate you all, drive as much value to the mobile marketing community so you come away from this refreshed with strategies, insights, best practices. I hope everybody can hear and see my Wacky Wednesday t-shirt very, very well. And if you can, let's get the chat going. Let's obviously give us some love hearts, some fire emojis. Let's see how we're getting on, everybody.
Yes, this is wonderful. Perfect. Ah, the chat is lighting up. That's amazing. And everybody, we would love to have this event as interactive as possible. So please go ahead and use the chat not only for emojis moving forward, but also for posting your questions and comments and anything you would feel that you would like to share with us. Yesterday, it worked super good and we loved the conversation. So let us start and go ahead. And as you know, in Split Metrics, we invest a lot into educating the market on growing mobile apps and games. And just like David was singing yesterday and today, let us educate you.
Yes,
And
Galini. Yes.
and as a part of our educational mission, we prepared 3 days, and this is the day two. I remind you, more than 20 sessions with over 35 speakers in all the area of mobile growth, which is absolutely fantastic.
Unbelievable. Day two, mobile marketing marathon. And this day, today, is dedicated to Apple search ads. Okay. I am David, VP of Sales here at Split Metrics. I'm here with my wonderful colleague, Galina Schneider, VP of Customer Success and Support. And we are going to be your host for today and for tomorrow too. Don't forget it. Okay. So before we go any further, I want to get this chat going. I want to light it up, okay? So, everybody, what was the first app you logged into this morning when you woke up? Please do not say it was a work-related app. Please give me some meditation, some Spotify.
Can I
Okay.
also can I also participate?
Yes, go, Galina. Of course.
Well, for me, there was an alarm. Nothing, nothing really, nothing really very spectacular. But once we are getting all the answers in the chat, please go ahead and write them down. I'm going to give you a little bit more insights about who we are and so that you would understand who exactly you're listening to. So we are Split Metrics, and we hope that you're familiar with us since you're here. We're the global software company offering an ecosystem of products and services that serve a growth engine for mobile apps. We're a proud Apple Search Ads partner with an international team of over 160 people, and we live and breathe app growth. And we are passionate about making our customers successful and happy. We love them, and this is mutual. So we love the space, this industry, and that is why we're also making this event. So, David, back to you. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
more about today.
And the reason being, great segue, Galina, because 2,000 marketeers from all over the globe have joined us. Australia, US. I'm coming from Dublin, Ireland. Galina is located in Germany, in Cologne. Cologne in Germany. And what we'd like to do is, first and foremost, get in the chat again, everybody. Where are we coming from? Hopefully from people from Dublin, Cologne, but also as well, don't forget the official hashtag. Let's get this trending. Let's get it out there and let's make everybody aware of what we're doing and how we're doing things.
Cyprus, Colorado, Romania, Los Angeles. Wow, amazing. We're again
Brilliant.
having like the whole globe here. So, and of course, we cannot move forward without mentioning our sponsors, our partners, the speakers, all these wonderful companies that you see here on the screen, 25 organizations, and we're amazingly grateful for the contribution and for the partnership together with those companies to complete our mission of education. And obviously, behind those companies, we also have amazing professionals and experts. Let's look at the faces. Come on, let's get to the next
Woof.
slide. Yes,
Woof.
there they are. Just look at those. Over 40 speakers. Isn't that amazing? This is a completely great lineup. And yesterday we already got to see some of those. And today we're going to even get more insights on Apple search ads, on user acquisition, anything and everything. David, please tell us more about the agenda for today.
Galina, more than happy to. The agenda for today, Apple search ads, as you've seen, okay? And remember, we want these sessions to be interactive, okay? Also, to have a look at all these wonderful people. Look what's going to be happening today on the agenda. Please take a moment, okay? Now, also as well, we've got some really, really good speakers from Flow, Babbel, Healy, Adjust, Moloco, TV Scientific, AppRadar, Split Metrics. The list goes on and on. But look, listen, as Galina said, let us educate you. And without further ado, we are going to educate you. And we will see who our first speaker is today. Anastasia, are you there?
Hi, David. Hi, everyone.
Anastasia, great to meet you. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for presenting. I'm really looking forward to it. Please introduce yourself to the wonderful crowd, and please, the floor is yours. Thank you so much, Anastasia.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Galina. It was a great kickoff, and I am happy to be a part of this event. I'm Anastasia. I've been working as a user acquisition manager at Flow for 1.5 years, and over 300 million users around the world use Flow as their pregnancy evaluation and period tracking app. Today, I will share tips for brand and non-brand campaigns. Both of these campaigns are a crucial part of search results placements in Apple Search Ads. Brand campaigns include keywords related to a brand. For example, for Flow, such keywords would be Flow, Flow for Partners, Flow Period Tracker, and so on. Non-brand campaigns, or otherwise known as generic campaigns, include keywords that are not related to the brand of your app. For example, for Flow, such keywords would be ovulation, pregnancy, and even WhatsApp, which is actually a brand name, but it doesn't apply to Flow, which means for Flow, WhatsApp would be a generic keyword. Could you please switch to the next slide? Thank you. Bid management is an ongoing process that requires continuous monitoring and adjustment. And it's day-to-day work to manage bids to achieve target CPD, ROS, impression share, or any other metrics. But it's worth doing something about it if these metrics have been achieved. Definitely worth it, because there is a chance to buy traffic cheaper. Because even though Apple Search Ads auction is a dynamic thing, there is a chance that you have keywords where you see a stable impression share, which may signal that the auction for these keywords is stable and there is a limited number of buyers. In this case, you can gradually decrease bids, which will allow you to decrease cost per tap and cost per download significantly without losing impression share. Do tiny steps, check it if there's any dynamic in your metrics. Moreover, it's best to wait 4 or even 5 days between lowering the bid to make sure that the situation is stable and then move on. This approach can be used for both brand and non-brand keywords. And let's go to the next slide. Working with user acquisition, especially with search traffic, you always must ask yourself a question. How much additional traffic or conversion did these campaigns generate that would not happen happened otherwise? And this is a pretty big topic and related to both brand and generic traffic. And today I would like to focus only on basics and search brand campaigns, as users who are searching for your brand already have high intent and are most likely to know and maybe even use one of your app. Before we dive more deeply, let's check 2 important definitions. Could we? Yes, thank you. Incrementality is an increase that wouldn't have happened if we didn't buy our ads. And cannibalization is the opposite of incrementality. It occurs when a paid search campaigns users the same keywords as was ranking higher organically, leading to competition between the paid ads and organic efforts. And we can go to the next slide. Thank you. For brand traffic, especially for well-known apps, it's crucial to understand the level of incrementality and assess whether brand traffic is beneficial, not only for user acquisition, but for business as a whole. To take incrementality into account when building your strategy, you must first measure it and compare how much search traffic you have with and without your brand campaign. Calculate incrementality by dividing downloads by new and returning users, but remember that nowadays it's impossible to run a campaign only on new users without reducing the share of traffic significantly. Running these tests multiple times at different times helps gather more data for making better decisions. If the level of incrementality of your brand campaign is high, you should have no trouble adapting your strategy to buy this traffic. But what to do if the majority of users without download your app, regardless of whether you have ads or not? To answer this question, first figure out how much your paid campaigns is affecting your organic traffic. There are two ways to measure the impact and understand whether it's beneficial or not to continue working with brand campaigns. One way to recalculate the revenue generated from a keyword is to adjust it for the cannibalization rate. If buying this traffic is still profitable, then without any doubt, worth counting. The second way is to calculate cost per download based on incrementality index and compare new cost per download with your LTV. If economics don't match up after that, you shouldn't give up on brand traffic right away. Your main goal is decreased cost per download as much as possible. There's a lot of ways how to optimize your campaigns, achieve this and buy traffic even if the level of incrementality of your traffic is low. More often you have the ability to buy brand keywords significantly cheaper than your competitors, and the auction is more likely to be stable in case of brand keywords. Try to reduce the bids as a small step, as I mentioned earlier, to see how much you can reduce the cost per download because of that. The second option is to use text ads instead of standard ad with free screenshots. This method will help you to reduce TTR and be more likely to shift the user attention from paid ads to organic. Also, with this method, you will be able to reduce the amount of money you spend on buying the same impression share. Even if you don't succeed in reducing cannibalization, using text ads, you can still protect your brand cheaper. And third option here is CPA goal. By setting up a CPA goal, you will be able to get downloads at your desired cost. But this may limit the amount of traffic you buy. Even if the incrementality is low, you shouldn't give up on finding a way to continue working with brand keywords in Apple search ads, as brand protection is a pretty important thing, and there is a lot of ways to buy traffic cheaper or buy a fixed amount of traffic. Keep in mind that incrementality level is not a constant, and it can change from time to time, as it's affected by many different factors. In a nutshell, look for ways to profitably buy traffic by considering incrementality in your strategy. And we can go to the next slides. Thank you. For generic keywords that have a first or second rank, the question of incrementality is also quite accurate. In order to control the amount of traffic on them and to manage this traffic taking into account cannibalization, in Flow, we prefer to divide generic traffic into campaigns taking into account the ranks of keywords. In addition to ranks, it's important to create separate strategy for keywords according to their volume. Keywords with the highest search popularity can give you a lot of traffic and potentially bring you money. Keywords with a middle level of search popularity can give you volume due to their amount in your account. So constantly search and test new keywords. Moreover, retest of keywords should be a constant process. There is a limited number of keywords with which you will do well on the first try. Active competitors, expensive traffic, low conversions, or low LTV, all of these can affect your opportunity to buy a certain keyword. The best solution is not to give up on it. If you think that keyword is relevant for you, try to continue buy traffic, retest it time to time until you see progress. Earlier this year, we wanted to start buying a popular keyword that, in our opinion, is relevant to us. Moreover, we don't have high search rank, which is maximizing the benefit of our paid traffic. But our launch of this keyword in Apple Search Ads completely failed. After several months, we decided to retest this keyword, boost bits, and see that we already can buy part of impression share profitable. We are attentively working on this keyword now, optimizing bits, working on custom product pages, and looking forward to buy even more traffic. The bottom line here is there is a lot of generic keywords for your app that people search for on App Store. Try a lot of them, adapt your strategy based on rank and volume, and don't give up with keywords that might be relevant for your app. And next slide, please. Yeah, a lot of people talk about custom product pages. I'm not exception today, and I'm sure that there are a lot of topics will be in the future. And as well as implementality, this topic is quite big. So let's just go a short overview. Custom product pages in additional version of App Store product page. You may focus this page on specific topic, seasonal event, new app feature, or whatever you want. As a screenshot from product pages is the main creative on Apple Search Ads, custom product page can be the key for improvement of your metrics and for your growth. How to determine which custom product page can lead to increase in traffic? The best way to answer this question is to analyze what keywords do you use, how many potential to improvement do they have, and how many traffic they can give you for your app. One of the approaches is to split your keywords with high search volume into groups and determine for which group you would like to improve metrics to start buying more traffic. For custom product page in Apple Search Ads, the main metric is conversion from impression to downloads. CPT and CPD are health metrics, so we expect improvement for all these metrics. Moreover, for inspiration, you can check what custom product pages create your competitors or any other apps. It's easy to do using CPP intelligence in split metrics, where you can check custom product pages by competitors or by keywords. And also recently, Apple has launched a repository for Europe markets that is quite useful too. If your custom product page has shown good results, don't stop there. Localize the CPP, create new iterations, experiment more on this topic. And on the next slides, we'll briefly cover results of one of our tests. We localized our best CPP and compared this localization with default page. Custom product page help us not only improve tap-through rate and conversion rate, but also halved the cost of downloads. Moreover, we got significantly more traffic using the same bits. This custom product page unlocks us new keywords with high volume and allow us to get significantly more traffic even with lower bits. And that's all from my side. If you have any questions, feel free to write them on the chat or message me on LinkedIn. And yeah, this is QR code for my LinkedIn.
Anastasia, thank you so much for the insights. Really, really great presentation. And yes, guys and girls, please reach out to Anastasia on LinkedIn. Anastasia, thank you. Have a great day. Next speaker, we are going to go to the wonderful Daria from Ballot. Daria, are you in the studio?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Welcome.
All good, David. How are you?
I'm great. Happy Wednesday. Listen, Daria, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself, and we are looking forward to your presentation. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the great and informative kickoff for today. I'm Daria. Hello, everyone. I work at Babbel as an SEM manager, and I specialize in app advertisement mainly. And I have been working here for 1.5 years. And like Anastasia said, I won't be any different. And I'll be talking about custom product pages today. we have been experimenting with and using custom product pages in our Apple search results campaigns for a while now. And today I'd like to share some insights and learnings that we have gathered over time. But before we start, I wanted to ask you something. And I think now the event team will launch the poll. So yeah, here's the poll. Let's hear, for what purposes do you use custom product pages, if you even use them at all? And you have until the end of the presentation to answer, so don't rush. And yeah, we'll go over your answers at the very end. Sorry. So let's look at the outline of the presentation for today. First, I'll start with an introduction to Babbel, what we do and who we are. Later on, I'll talk a bit about the background story of how and why we decided to adapt to custom product pages. After that, I'll mention our current status, and we'll finish the presentation with some best practices we believe to have helped us, and one success story that we are happy to see the results of. So Babbel. Babbel is a language learning company that was founded in Berlin in 2007. Later on, our New York office opened in 2015. Now, to this day, more than 750 people work in both Berlin and New York offices. We are also proud to have a very diverse employee base with over 60 nationalities. As I mentioned, Babbel is a language learning company and is subscription-based. There are both web and app-based platforms, giving the users the flexibility to choose from whichever they like. We currently offer 14 languages, and we are active in Europe, North America, and the LATAM region. Overall, we have been in the market for over 15 years. We actually celebrated our 15th anniversary last year in October. And in Babbel, we believe that creating mutual understanding through language is key in our lives. So we stand by this mission statement in whatever we do. And now we have reached more than 15 million subscribers globally, and we are proud to have reached this milestone. Oops, I couldn't, sorry. So to dive into today's topic, I should give a little bit of background. Why did we start using custom product pages in the first place? What was our starting point? To sum up the need for our custom product page usage, we can say first and foremost, we were looking for a way to take optimization further because we already have a pretty well-structured and monitored balance in our account. So we were looking for something other than increasing keyword coverage or new bid strategies because we already are at a level where we need a little something extra. To achieve this, we turned to custom product pages. This way, we would have the opportunity to talk to our customers based on what they needed, and hence the tailor-made creatives that matched the intent of the user, in this case, their queries. It was a perfect meeting point for us and being there when they are looking. Thirdly, the personalized ads off option presented to the users makes audience targeting a bit harder for us. So we are not relying too much on the audience targeting in our campaigns, but rather we heavily depend on the user queries, especially for the very reason I mentioned just now, being there when they are looking. And lastly, we wanted to break the creative blindness cycle, but in a clever way. So we know that users don't always tend to convert right away when they first search for something, but rather they go back and forth to decide. So during this journey, they might have already seen us multiple times, Even though in Apple search ads, for search results, the ad appears in the first row before organic results, they might develop a blindness towards the creatives they have already seen multiple times on different occasions. So to get past this, CPPs, we find them to be a great way to touch the users with different creatives and also with the ones that answer their needs. That being said, let's go over our current status and see how we approach the creatives and the implementation with some examples at the end of this chapter. Going over the creative direction approach first, one of the first things that we did was to decide on the main points that we wanted to focus on and then think through how to accomplish them. The three main points that we decided on were to attract, to overcome creative blindness, and to match intent. To attract the attention of potential users, we used bright eye-catching colors that would do the job visually. While doing that, we revamped the in-app screenshot and added new ones to reflect the messaging and also support it. All of this, at the end of the day, served the purpose of overcoming creative blindness. After the decision process, we went into the creation phase. So let's talk a bit about how we implemented this approach. We first selected the campaigns and targeted keywords. This is the very starting point that gives direction to the creatives and the content. So everything relies on the keywords, also known as the intent of the users. So once we selected the targeted keywords, we thought about the matching messaging. We repurposed some of the claims we already had, and for some, we created new ones from scratch. Also, while forming the messaging at this stage, it is important to check out the competition, seeing where you are standing compared to them, and understanding the positioning gives a whole new perspective when establishing your ideas. As this is very much related with design, and as the design aspect is very important for this strategy, as I mentioned before, we chose to use more eye-catching and bright colors to grab the attention right away. And also, we didn't miss out on the most important element, collaboration and the alignment between teams. So we collaborated with the ASO and the creative teams to stay true to the essence of the brand. And we didn't forget to align on the test periods and especially during promo periods. So here are some examples that we have used. On the upper side of the slide, you see our default ad, which is a bit dull with toned down colors without too much contrast. But on the lower side, however, you see our custom product pages that are designed considering all the points that I've been mentioning until now. And you can see how different they are from the default ad. Here we have the brand and the promo CPPs. You can see that they both have different messaging, and therefore in-app screenshots, we try to understand and think of what is more important to the users that land on that specific targeted keywords ad and design and implemented the custom product page according to this. Here are two other examples of CPPs that we use. These are for non-brand queries. Depending on the query, meaning the user intent behind it, the competition status, or our own matching features, the content changes, of course. The messaging, the features, in-app screenshot, and colors. So whatever needs to be highlighted, we highlight that specifically for to correspond. And so moving on to the best practices, to what we learned from doing all the tests and implementations. So this is like our own guide to CPPs, if you will. So we have a little bit, we created a small do's and don'ts list that we have deducted from our own experience and that we follow as well. So on the do's side, we have, but with any type of ad, it is important to know and understand the competition. So obviously do research on them. Your brand image is everything to the users. It should be consistent overall. So stay true to it no matter what. Sorry. Shaping and creating the concept, the design, and the content of the CPP lies within understanding your users and why they might be interested in that specific thing. The queries are our hints here, so we should use them. After you understand the intent, you can now match your messaging to showcase how you are able to provide an answer to that need. This also includes highlighting and literally showing a specific functionality or a feature your app provides. And after all, CPPs are visual representations of what we can do, but in a little space. So remember to use them wisely. It is also possible and beneficial to use CPPs to push and boost the seasonality or promotional effect. As I've shown you in the example custom product page slides, we are currently using them and benefiting from them. Lastly, remember that especially if you offer more than one display language in your app, it would be beneficial to target different languages other than the native language of the targeted country. And as for the don'ts list, as you go further down the custom product page hole, you might want to make your structure more and more granular. I mean, this works up until a point, but further than that certain point, it becomes rather disadvantageous. You need to find a sweet spot for your app and find that balance. We are living at a time where the average attention span is down to a few seconds. This also applies to CPPs or any ad for that matter. The last screenshots are simply not being looked at by a lot of users. So focus your energy mainly on the first few screenshots to get the most out of the CPPs and your energy and workload. The ambiguity might leave the users with not knowing exactly what to do. So always be clear with your messaging and CDAs. Also, if your starting point is to match the intent of your user query, then you shouldn't rely on very generic content either. And lastly, I wanted to share some of the results that we have achieved and explain them by breaking them into two main pillars, creative and performance results. I will be referring to our brand custom product page case. So first, I'd like to mention the reasoning behind our choosing brand campaigns to experiment on. As I mentioned before, we have a pretty good and saturated structure, especially in brand. So we are always looking for different ways to increase the performance for brand without hurting it, of course. And over the last year, we have been trying to increase our custom product page coverage throughout our accounts to increase relevancy. Of course, we started with safer bets like non-brand campaigns, but it was time for us to expand to brand territory and explore what we can do there. And lastly, our goal was to refresh the creatives to break the inevitable creative blindness that builds up over time. For creative results, we now have visually appealing creatives, as you can also see compared to the default ad. They can grab better attention, as you'll see also in the performance slide, performance results slide as well. We have more contrast in colors, which adds to the eye-catching effect and also helps with the distinction between messaging. We revamped the in-app screenshots to match the new messaging. And we stuck to one main message per slot. We find this to be the best working solution. And overall, we kept it simple, basically. And if you realize, this is a summary of what I've been talking about until now about creatives. And as for the performance, we were really happy to see these positive results in such a short amount of time. These might seem very small numbers compared to Anastasia's slides, but don't forget that this is our brand campaign, and it is a very saturated campaign. So these are very good accomplishments. So we had a 7.2% increase in TTR. As I said, this might not seem much at a first glance, but don't forget that this is our very saturated brand campaign. So we are very glad to see this happening. And we were also happy to see that the attraction strategy worked here, and we were able to increase TTR. And with this increase, as we go lower down the funnel, other metrics were also positively affected. Our costs went down, CPT 11.3% and CPI 16.4% to be specific. And again, this is a brand campaign, so lowering the costs made us very content, as you can imagine, as it is sometimes not very easy to achieve with a saturated structure. And lastly, the impression to install also went up by 13.7%, which was again a great accomplishment for us to increase installs even more than the TTR increase compared to the default ad during the previous period. And yeah. So that concludes my presentation, but let's have a look at the poll results, which I don't know how to, thank you. So our question was, for what purposes do you use custom product pages? And it seems like more, like almost half of the audience is using them to target various segments of the targeted audience, and very little percentage, 3%, is using it to reflect all app features. Actually, 23% is using it for all three options here, which is, I think, great. I think you're on the great track. Because this is also what we do. This is what we strategize. And yeah, to get a boost for seasonal campaigns, 6% is using them. Add 23% on top, 29, 30%. Yeah, it's also not a very bad percentage, I guess. And then 13% haven't tried out custom product pages yet. I heavily encourage you all to at least once try it out and yeah, see how a custom product pages performs. Yeah. Well.
Thank you so much. We just have one question from the chat. And it's, how do you use custom product pages for seasonal campaigns?
For seasonal campaigns?
Yeah.
So for this, our approach is not very different than the one that we have with any other CPPs. But of course, during promos, it is essential to highlight your best offer, that is the discount percentage. That's what we are doing. Okay. So greeting users with the discount to increase conversion rates. I think this is the key for the seasonal custom product pages.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great presentation, great insights. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. And on to our next session. Well, look at these two handsome people. So our next session is dedicated to the synergy between Apple Search Ads and ASO and how to leverage it for enhanced results. Okay. And of course, ways you can use AI-powered technology in your Apple Search Ads and ASO practices. Tons of best practices, real-life experience examples, and useful materials, and two amazing people, Ben and Thomas. Welcome. Super excited to have you. And please, without further ado, introduce yourselves to a wonderful crowd. Over to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, David, for the introduction. Always a pleasure to be here at the App Growth Week with Split Metrics. My name is Thomas. I am one of the managing directors and co-founders at AppRadar, and I'm already looking forward for the session today, and especially because I have with me.
Hi, thank you for having us. I'm a little bit disappointed as I've not worn a shirt as nearly as ugly, as nearly as fantastic as David. So between this session and one I'm running later, I might dig out my own bright coloured shirt just to feel a little bit more like I'm competing.
Nice. So now that we figured the thing out with the shirt, I would say let's start with a very quick introduction to show the audience who we are and why we're talking about this topic. So once again, my name is Thomas. I'm born and raised in Austria, as you can probably hear from my Arnold Schwarzenegger-inspired dialect. Actually, I lived in San Francisco for a couple of times, but didn't swap too much to my dialect. I'm an ex-hardcore gamer and hobby DJ. I can look back to more than 20 years of experience in digital marketing, and I personally launched more than 50 apps and games within the app stores, and which kind of also led to founding the company of AppRadar in the year 2015.
And then over to myself. My name is Ben Collins-Jones. I'm a member of the customer success team here at Split Metrics. I've worked in social media and mobile ad SaaS for several years, supporting customers across all industries and all subcategories. That includes B2C, B2B, and anything from fintech to robotics, background to hyper casual games, and literally everything in between. I've been supporting a number of customers of the Split Metrics customer base, again, across several markets, several storefronts, as well as industries. I'm a massive geek at heart in everything that I do, be it from comic books to movies to video games. And I'm a huge fan of dashboards and data and a few well-made infographics. So if I'm speaking quickly, it's because there's an infographic on the screen and I'm just simply excited to talk about it. So without further ado, we will get into our presentation today.
Let's check it out. Yeah, today what we have on the agenda is why ASO plus App Research Ads plus AI is simply amazing. We're going to walk you through this process. First of all, we're going to start very quickly. I mean, I know we are at the App Growth Week, and I know that all of you guys obviously know what is App Store Optimization. But however, just for us to be on the same page, I brought also a very quick introduction about what is App Store Optimization. App Store Optimization is a continuous process of improving your App Store listing to attract the right users for your apps. And you can achieve this through, on the one hand side, ranking high in the App Store search results for relevant keywords, and on the other hand side, convincing people to download your app once they see it or find it within the app stores. The benefits of App Store Optimization, well, it helps users to find your app and hopefully not the apps of your competitors. It helps you to boost your app's visibility within the app stores. It helps you to improve your app store conversion rates. It helps you to drive organic installs for long-term success, as well as this has a positive impact to cut user acquisition costs with the help of organic installs. As well, it also helps you to expand brand awareness through increased apps visibility. The main impact factors of ASO, once again, I know you all know that, but just that we're all on the same page. We are looking at metadata, which can be the app title, the subtitle, the keyword field, the short description or the long description. So everything where you can put text to describe what your app is about. We're talking about ratings and reviews. Here may be important to note that quantity very often beats quality in this regard. And as we already heard when we were talking about ASO, also conversion rate optimization is very important. And here we are talking about creative assets. These are your app icon, your screenshots, as well as a potential preview video for your app.
Now I'm going to hop in and talk about what is Apple Search Ads. To echo Thomas's point not too long ago, we all probably have some idea what this is, but for those who may be new to the industry or new to this channel, it's worth just making some just a quick overview of what that entails. Apple Search Ads as a solution is the Apple-based ads platform. When you're utilizing the App Store, any of the apps that you're seeing within that are effectively managed and generated by the Apple Search Ads platform. It allows you to leverage very advanced targeting options, scale up and manage campaigns across multiple placements. There are 4 great placements within the Apple Search Ads platform that you can utilize, and also provide great user experience, because the Apple Search Ads is a privacy-first advertising platform. It was built as an advertising-first platform. So with that in mind, there is also a high level of intent when it comes to the users, which means you can maximize your lifetime value, because ultimately the people who are on the App Store are real people. They are there's a significantly lower number of things like bots or ghost users on the Apple Search Ads than potentially other channels. The benefits of the Apple Search Ads platform, if you utilize it effectively, means that you can rank your app as #1 on the App Store search results, allows you for enhanced customization of who you're sending these adverts to, what audiences, what markets, what individuals potentially as well as providing advanced reporting back, so you can see exactly what every dollar you put in, what that then ultimately meant for your business when it comes to potential revenue generating opportunities, or how many users were generated because of those adverts. As I mentioned before, there's multiple ad placements covering different efforts. Some are very much focused on user generation, while some are also great for brand building as well. They all obviously help towards your ultimate revenue goals, but they allow that sort of customization and flexibility based on what you're looking for in terms of your advertising campaigns. And importantly, you have total and full control over your efforts when it comes to the Apple Search Ads, be it through the campaigns and the associated strategies you want to apply to those campaigns, all the way down to the individual keywords, the keyword lists, and what type of match type you're using with those keywords. You can manage that whole process from start to finish. Now I'm going to get back to Thomas to talk about custom product pages.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ben. So yeah, let's jump into the topic custom product pages, as it was also already in the 2 sessions earlier today. So I think nothing too new in some kind of way, but however, let's quickly start also here with defining what are custom product pages. They are the melting point of advanced ASO as well as Apple Search Ads tactics. I would say, simply put, imagine building landing pages for different user journeys, as well as optimizing them separately. Find out which users or which user intents bring you the most downloads, but not only downloads, at the end of the day, also revenues. So to sum it up, custom product pages can really help you to customize journeys for different users. And this is now exactly also where we are going to kind of keep it in the back of our head, because this will be also part of our practical session. But before we go into that, let's first also talk about AI-driven software solutions. So let's start with reasons why to use AI. On the one hand side, do more with less. You can think of generative AI as your marketing assistant. Very important, really think of it as your assistant and not as your CMO, because AI is not yet there, but it can really help you a lot. But it's important to keep it in mind as assistant. You can outsource research tasks, for example, and it can help you to come up with convincing concepts for your users. You can unlock user insights because you can build user personas with the help of generative AI. This helps you to better understand the motivation as well as the goals of your users, because it also helps you getting a little bit outside of your own box, and because the AI isn't kind of biased with your knowledge. It can also help you to find out what convinces your users to download your app in the first step, but also to use them in the long run. And not only that, it can really be very practical when it comes to the topic of content creation as well as conversion rate optimization, because it can help you define keyword backlogs for your various personas or target audiences. It can help you brainstorming various designs, as well as it can help you to bring all of that together with the help of custom product pages. So let's check this out in more detail, what I mean by that. In this example, I've been using ChatGPT for that. You can also use other generative AI solutions as well, but I think ChatGPT is kind of the standard, let's put it like that. Yeah, if you haven't heard of it yet, then I don't know what you have been doing the last couple of months. So therefore, let's jump into the topic. Once again, when starting to chat with ChatGPT, it is important that you kind of set it up. How do you set it up? By kind of telling it what you want it to be. So as you can see here in the first prompt, I tell it, I want you to be my senior app marketing assistant. So I'm setting the frame for this ChatGPT chat that I was just opening up. We will be working together to set up a rock-solid ASO plus Apple Search Ads strategy, incorporating custom product pages to build outstanding user journeys for different user personas of our app. So we're setting now also the goal, what we want to do with ChatGPT. And now here comes the most important part in my eyes. Ask me 5 questions to better understand what the app is about so you can come up with various personas. Just to mention here, very important, because now we're giving ChatGPT the task to ask us questions to better understand what our app is about, and it can also help us better the more knowledge it has. Yeah. Obviously, you can also let it ask 10 questions and the quality will be even better. So let's see, yeah. As you can see here, the reply of ChatGPT, it comes back, certainly, it understands what we want from it. And it goes down to, can you describe the core functionality as well as the USPs of the app? The primary audience of the app, how we differentiate from our competitors, if we are focusing currently on specific geographic regions or markets, currently focusing on, or maybe also within the future where we want to set the focus, as well as if we can provide any insights in form of data or metrics that we already collected about our app users. Once again, those 5 questions, as you can see here, they are really great because it really helps to come up and to set, so to say, the frame. But once again, if you let it ask 10 questions, it will be even more profound. Let's continue. Within this practical session, we're going to look at the imaginary app, MyFitnessBuddy. Shortly described, the key value proposition: transform your health and fitness journey with MyFitnessBuddy, the all-in-one solution to effortlessly track your workouts and dietary habits. Sync seamlessly with your Apple Watch to record every sports activity and monitor your calorie and macro intake with ease. Get ready to meet the healthier you. Well, you guessed it, also ChatGPT helped writing this description over here. But I think it gives us a good understanding what the app is about. So let's also go further. Now we gave this feedback back, obviously, to ChatGPT. We answered the questions that it asked based exactly kind of on this briefing of this imaginary app. And now we wanted to go one step further. Create a table that identifies 2 specific target audiences, outline their primary needs and trigger points, and list relevant keywords for each audience segment. Once again, we're in this, for the showcase purpose, we're using 2 specific target audiences, but obviously you can also use 10 if you want to. This is what we got back from ChatGPT in this case. It was breaking us down 2 target audiences, exactly what we asked for. Target audience number 1, women aged 20 to 30, living the fitness lifestyle. And target audience number 2, men aged 30 plus, looking for high performance training. As we can now look also into the main needs for target audience number 1 is to track calorie intake, find motivation, track progress, as well as the trigger points are to live a healthy lifestyle, desire to lose weight, getting ready for summer season, or getting ready for specific events like weddings. As we can see on the right-hand side, we're also getting keyword recommendations as well, directly from ChatGPT. Once again, it's here a little bit limited just for the showcase purpose, but you can also go very wild and ask ChatGPT to come up with 50 keywords, for example, for each of those target audiences. However, when looking at target audience number 2, we will see it's quite different, because men aged 30 plus looking for high performance training. Their main needs are detailed activity tracking. They want to have performance analysis, as well as they want to have nutrition recommendations. Their trigger points are they are preparing for upcoming competitions, they want to beat the personal best, or they are doing an endurance training. Relevant keywords for this specific target audience might be performance tracking, Ironman training, sports nutrition, or activity log. As you can see, we're really talking about two completely different target audiences here. And this is now really where the beauty of custom product pages kick in, because we can target those different target audiences also separately. And we don't have to only create one App Store listing that is attracting both of them. So let's go further when talking about that. It's not only about keywords, but as we already identified when talking about App Store optimization, conversion rate optimization is very important. And there we learned it's all about the creatives. So therefore, assist in developing App Store screenshot concepts that are tailored to the specific target audience outlined in the table. Prepare a briefing for my designer detailing how to effectively tap into the emotional trigger points and suggest captions to be used on the screenshots. Let's go one step further. Perfect. ChatGPT understood what we wanted to do. Great, yeah. Each screenshot must visually communicate the app's benefits. That's great. We should use the app's color palette. That's also very important to inspire energy, trust, and health. It should include the captions, obviously. We should integrate lifestyle imaginary. Also here, very important, a big trend that we are seeing within the App Store is that the first screenshot of your App Store listing or of your app screenshots is very often, let's say, a combination between your app, but also some kind of lifestyle imaginary. And so therefore, keep this in mind, because this will be also going further for the example that I'm going to show you. As well as the last point is that we should ensure that the design is consistent with the brand aesthetics as well as values. Going one step further, it gives us two recommendations for our two target audiences. For the target audience number one, show a young woman celebrating a milestone with the app. We can also see the different trigger points that are attached to it. And for the target audience number two, show a data-driven athlete analyzing stats with the app. Once again, very different, but at the end of the day, we're talking about words and we're talking about briefing for designer. So not everybody from us is a very skilled designer and can now come up with a sketch, but luckily, there are also some AI tools that can help us to also prepare briefings for our designers, as well as we can use them as a shortcut to better communicate what we have in mind. So once again, for this, for example, for the cases that I'm going to show you, I use Midjourney. There are also other generative AI solutions out there for image generation, but my personal favorite is Midjourney. Once again, target audience number one, we had the women living the fitness lifestyle. Show a young woman celebrating reaching a milestone with my fitness buddy. I think when looking at those images, what we can see is number one, very emotional. And I think it drives really kind of this feeling, okay, I reached something that I was reaching. Now imagine as well, celebrate reaching every milestone, for example, as a caption, as well as bringing an app screenshot to this as well, maybe a little bit on the side and going more into the second screenshot than within your App Store listing. But as you can see here, once again, also having in mind target audience number one, we're talking about women aged 20 to 30, kind of exactly for this target audience, the screenshots are made. Let's go on one step further, target audience number two. We are looking at the young men, the high performers. As we can see here, show a data-driven athlete analyzing stats with my fitness buddy. What we can see, completely different style compared to the previous custom product page design that we just created for target audience number one. And that is exactly the beauty of it. Because, and this is also the point that I want to deliver here at this presentation. With the help of custom product pages, as well as with the help of AI, first of all, it helps you to identify those different target audiences that you might be attracting with your custom product pages. But it can also help you to come up with design concepts that you can brief your designers and, you know, like you can give it to them. And I'm quite sure if they're skilled, you know, it will be very easy for them to create amazing App Store screenshots based on this kind of briefing, and can then further execute them within the custom product pages of your app. By the way, if you're looking for photorealistic settings for Midjourney, as we have seen on those screenshots here as well, or on those photos, better said, as well as you can see on this photo over here, feel free to add me on LinkedIn. Feel free to shoot me a message there. I'm happy to share these settings with you, so you can also create such photorealistic images with Midjourney. In this regard, moving on to the next topic. Ben, you're ready?
I am indeed, sir. Just quickly looking at the chat, Jacob's question, how exactly can AI help with ASA campaigns? And Serafina's question, is there any correlation between ASA and ASO? I hope to cover that in the next couple of slides. So if you don't have those questions answered by the end of this session, don't hesitate to reach out to the team after the fact. First things first, everything that we've taken everything that has already been explained to us by the fantastic Thomas about what we can use AI to sort of give us a strong foundation of what our ASO should look like, what sort of keywords potentially we may want to include, what sort of features do we want to apply. We then need to take that and put that into our ASA strategy. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, and then I'm then going to pivot into talking a little bit about how AI can help that process as well. So first off, when it comes to things like this, I recommend a rule of 3 to my customer base, and to those I've been answering questions in the chat, you will see that I've been sort of following this logic. First being a cohesive strategy. ASO and Apple Search Ads need to be cohesive. The age-old metaphor people use, or the description of how people use it, is ASO is your traditional storefront, the place that people go in to buy your product. ASA is the advertising and the marketing that got them into that store in the first place. So unless you are approaching this with a cohesive approach, your ASA efforts, your custom CPPs don't then match your ASO or final product, there is going to be a disjoint which ultimately ends up with customers uninstalling or potentially not actually installing in the first place. So a cohesive approach is important. As for rapid market adaptation, it's important to adapt and adjust your keywords alongside the market trends, alongside what's going on based on A, industry trends, and B, seasonality as well. For example, we'll talk about it a little bit, and there's actually a talk later today focusing on some of the seasonality. You need to make sure you're adapting your ASA strategy and your ASO to reflect that those changes and ultimately where we are at this point. Knowledge of your seasonality and of your market and industry in particular is also vital. And last, by no means least, to quote a great film, follow the money. The important piece is if you are seeing that things are working, if you're seeing certain campaigns, certain approaches are working, you need to ensure that you are also giving them the right resources and the right amount of budget in order for them to then continue to be successful for you. Of course, the other side being for those not performing well, of course, we should then potentially reduce their resources as well. Reinforcing the campaign structure and the resources are important. I know somebody in the chat is saying they're taking screenshots of everything that is going on. This is another screenshot that's probably worth grabbing. However, these will be available after today's session as well. Having a strong campaign structure with the right campaign type, keywords being available in them, and then giving it the right resources is important. There is tons of materials out there. You also can, of course, speak to our team as well, and we'd be happy to talk to you about what that looks like and how you can set that up appropriately. Further on from that, we also need to focus on the seasonality. As we are well aware, we are going into a very sort of high popular period for the season. You know, there is everything starting from Thanksgiving, which I think is in a week or so, all the way through to obviously the New Year's Eve in a few months, and then into Chinese New Year in the new year as well. These are very busy times for all different marks of industries for different reasons. For retail, people are buying presents. For utilities, meditative apps, time management apps, gym apps. These are a really busy period because of New Year, New You. It's not just a buzz phrase. It is a trend that you need to adapt for. So you need to identify which of the holiday periods you sit in and which ones are important for you as a business. From there, you need to understand what that seasonality means and understand what the trends are within that seasonality. So understanding if it means an increase in bids, does it mean that CPT and CPA is historically higher during this period? Knowing those trends, knowing that behavior is ultimately going to massively help you, because it means that you can then allocate the right budgets, the right resources. You can ensure that you're setting your targets and your goals appropriately. From there, ramp up promotion. Here is a great graph that's included in the seasonality guide that, as I mentioned it, I saw was just dropped into the chat. This is a really powerful tool to help you see when you should start ramping up and when you should sort of have that grace period after the fact as well. Once Thanksgiving has passed, Black Friday is and Cyber Monday is typically the main event for seasonality period. So you need to make sure that you are utilizing and ramping up promotion for this season ahead of that event, and then also for the appropriate amount of grace period afterwards. And then the last step, the most difficult one of all, rinse and repeat. Utilize these strategies, utilize that logic to then decide and build your strategy in order to then effectively have a powerful ASA approach to your campaigns. But then how does AI get involved in this process? Well, AI in mobile marketing has been running for a number of years. However, the big one we've been talking today, ChatGPT, is nearly a year old. It went live for public use on the 30th of November. It feels like it's been around for a lot longer than that, but in reality, it's only 1 year old. But user acquisition managers have been using this AI for years, be it utilizing smart algorithm, machine learning tools, content generation, optimization automation, and also audience analysis. You are using tools to help you do this work. That is AI in a nutshell. However, there are further developments to help you manage that process. For example, competitive research, leverage AI utilizing tools like we've talked about today, effectively asking it the right questions, the right prompts in order for you to then effectively be able to find everything from appropriate app metadata, keyword titles, descriptions, and also good comparisons about what may separate you out from your competitors. Here's an example in the report that has been shared earlier in today's chat, where effectively it was how do we compete against Tinder and Bumble as a brand new dating app, and ChatGPT provided, I think it's like 10 to 12 suggestions of what you should bear in mind, and you can utilize that to understand what makes you unique, and then obviously what you may be able to battle on when it comes to these competitors. Further on from that, it also allows you for account optimization. Here, of course, I'm going to talk about the fantastic solutions we have within the Splitmetrics Acquire platform, but effectively, rather than having to manually update and adjust bids yourself, utilizing tools like Splitmetrics Acquire allows you to then actually automate that process, where you can then look at set target parameters and have the smart algorithms, the machine learning, look at hundreds of keywords and adjust bids in order to ultimately achieve your end goal, those targets that you have set in terms of the parameters. You need to remember that AI is not Skynet. I'm sure you weren't expecting it, but for the second Arnold Schwarzenegger reference in today's talk, you can't rely on it to be the golden solution for everything. You need to set reasonable targets. You need to set reasonable, tangible goals for these tools, as they're not omnipotent quite yet, but just something to bear in mind when utilizing them. Again, within the report that's been shared in the chat today, there are further prompts that cover everything from user acquisition to competitor analysis to help generate keyword lists, and they're all there for you to utilize and take advantage of. Unfortunately, we are extremely close to the time, so we don't have any time for Q&A. I'd just like to take a chance again to say thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Thank you for taking the time and joining me and Thomas, and thank you, Thomas, for letting me talk ASA today.
Thank you very much as well, Ben.
David,
what
either.
A session. Thank you very much, gents. Brilliant session. And Ben, I'm looking forward to your funky, wacky Wednesday t-shirt later on. Thank you very much for the compliments about my obviously shirt.
Absolutely. I've got an hour between sessions. I'm going to go find an uglier shirt.
Go for it, mate. Go for it. I'll try to find one too. Thomas,
excellent.
Thank you so much. Ben, thank you so much. Okay, everybody. We are moving to our next session. And our next session is with the wonderful Marina from Hilly. Marina, are you there? Not here yet, but let me tell you a bit about Marina, okay? She is a seasoned Apple Search Ads manager, and she is here to share some tips around scaling Apple Search Ads and well-balanced growth. Marina, are you there?
Hello, everyone. I'm here.
Excellent. Yes, great to have you. Marina, I was just introducing you briefly, but look, listen, please, the floor is yours. The stage is yours. Please go ahead, and we are looking forward to your presentation today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, David, for this presentation. You are wonderful. And but before we begin, I'd like to conduct a brief survey, and please tell us what is your goal? What do you want to achieve by launching Apple Search Ads? Please tell us. And while you answer, let me tell you about Highly's goals. We have two main objectives: maintaining a positive ROI and scaling our campaigns. And I can proudly tell you that we've been achieving these goals for the past 9 months. And in the last 3 quarters, we've successfully increased our Apple Search Ads spend by 30% each quarter while maintaining a stable ROI level. My name is Marina Roberts. I am an Apple Search Ads manager at Highly Dating app, and I have been working in marketing for around 10 years. And I have a diverse range of experiences. I worked both in agencies and on the client side with web and app marketing, and with both startups and established businesses. For the past 9 months, I've been focusing on Apple Search Ads, and I'm delighted to be able to concentrate all my efforts on this network. Today, I'll share insights with you that have allowed Highly to achieve such fantastic results and how you can apply our approaches to your apps. But before that, let's discuss your answers. Please, event team, show us the poll results. Oh, now we see that the first option increased the number of installs. This option is win. We see that this option is the most relevant for our audience, and the next options concern a smaller number of our viewers. So, well, today I'll do my best to meet all your needs. Next, further. Today we'll discuss how proper campaign structuring can help you improve your ROI. We'll look into brand, competitor, and generic campaigns separately. Next, we'll explore how custom product pages allow you to reduce your bids and win ASA auctions. Next, we will examine the technological solutions available in the market and how you can use them to scale and optimize your campaigns. And lastly, we'll move on to automation solutions, which can solidify your results and reduce the time spent managing campaigns. So let's go to the campaign structure. After studying our own experience and that of competitors, we found a campaign structure that maximizes efficiency. Here's how the budget should be allocated. Brand campaign could take 15-20%, competitors campaign could take 25-35%, and generic campaign could be 50-60%. Such a ratio is not a fixed rule. Each company is looking for its ideal setup. For Highly scale, this scheme works best right now, and I will further explain this approach separately for each type of campaign. So let's go to the brand campaign. Yeah, on the slide, I listed the key metrics that must be tracked in a branding campaign. They are relevant to other types of campaigns as well. However, for branding campaign, they are crucial. Our main goal is to find the right balance between protecting our brand and maximizing the cost effectiveness of the brand campaign. If it doesn't always make sense to bid on 99% of impressions for your brand keywords if it results in a negative ROI, it's better to target 80-90% of impressions with a positive ROI. The auction in Apple Search Ads works so that it will never allow one advertiser to purchase 100 of the impressions for a particular keyword. Therefore, controlling the cost growth of each additional ad impression and monitoring profitability is critically important. So let's discuss the generic campaign. Yeah. Sorry. Characteristics of generic campaigns we've encountered in our work. The first characteristic is that generic campaign, unlike brand campaigns, the generic campaigns are scalable. Another feature is the huge number of keywords that can be used in generic campaigns. It's crucial to establish a testing process for these keywords and form an effective core. That's why balancing high search popularity keywords and with low competition keywords is essential. The final point is the intense competition for high search popularity keywords. Of course, these keywords require significant bidding, but we have an opportunity not to spend all the money in the world. For such keywords, we prepare custom product pages. CPPs boost our adoption rate and enable us to win auctions. So let's go to the next slide. Working with competitor campaigns can be challenging, especially when large competitors fiercely protect their brands. To address this challenge, you can. The first is to use the CPP method. Your custom product pages will never be more relevant to a competitor's product than their own CPPs. But you can try to create separate CPP tailored to a specific competitor. Your CPP should demonstrate how your product can satisfy the needs of users who want to meet their needs through your competitor. And also, you can use the keywords method. Explore and utilize competitors who may not have brand protection strategies. There are various strategies for working with Apple Search Ads in the market. Not all competitors decide to protect their brand. So keep your finger on the pulse and monitor as many competitors as possible. Now, let's discuss another component of growing ASA campaigns on Highly, custom product pages. But before that, let's take a short break. And the question to our listeners, please put a plus in the chat if you are using CPP. If you are not using it, put a minus. Thank you for your answers. Thank you for your activity. A lot of pluses. So we see that many users do not, we see that, interesting answers. We see that many users use CPP. I hope the next information will help you to improve your results. And we'll then let's return to the slides. So we dedicate much time to generating hypotheses, generating CPPs, testing and analyzing results. So let's discuss what to do and what not to do with CPP based on Highly's experience. First, let's cover best practices. The first best practice is CPP is a fantastic tool for testing variations of your default page. Before changing the default page, use CPP to identify which creatives have the highest TTR and TR. Then, the next point is that the features on your product can attract different types of users. Consequently, these users may use different search queries to find your product. This is an ideal time to utilize CPP. For example, an app for planting may have the following features: plant care instructions, plant watering tracker, and plant recognition. And it's worthwhile to create a separate ad group with relevant keywords and CPPs for each of these features. And the last one, consider the interests and needs of your users. Let's use Highly CPPs for the example for users searching for meet new people and long-term relationship. Creating different ads groups and relevant CPPs is essential. I'll now show you examples of such Highly CPPs. Yeah. Now you see custom product page for the search term meet new people. On this CPP, we don't focus on romantic relationships. The custom product page is neutral. And the next slide. It's the CPP for the search term long-term relationship. This CPP is very different from the previous one. We vividly illustrate relationships and talk about them in the headline. And now, let's discuss what not to do with CPP. Sorry. The first one is to avoid comparing CPP results and the default page results. These pages are shown to different types of users. Almost always, CPP will outperform the default page. Test CPP sequentially and compare CPP to CPP. Next, don't be afraid to make significant design changes to CPP. Minor design changes hardly affect the results. Test designs and messages that differ from each other. And the last, don't rush to conclusions. We test CPP for at least 7 days to cover all days of the week. Allow CPP to gather of a sufficient amount of data before drawing conclusions about its effectiveness. Now, let's talk about Hylis marketing technologies. We use internal analytics system to see all metrics from tap-through rate to user lifetime value and ROI. We have set up dashboards for all levels of advertising campaigns, starting from the account level to individual keywords. This enables us to respond to market challenges and make data-driven decisions quickly. Regarding additional tools, there are various third-party tools available, but we use Splitmetrics tool and are satisfied with the updates and additional features. On this slide, I've listed the features we use most frequently. We are excited about the latest updates. The daily share of voice assessment allows us to optimize brand campaign bids more effectively, and market intelligence reports help us better evaluate the market. You can build your scaling strategy taking into account your competitors' approaches. So, next, I provide more information about automation. The key rule of automation is to understand how your actions impact results before starting automation. You should answer questions like, what happens if I increase bids by 10%? What about 20 or 50? What will occur if I adjust bids daily versus only twice a week? How much time, clicks, and spend do I need to confirm that the data is reliable and not random? And which metrics could indicate that something is broken? What alerts can I set up to track these metrics? After you answered these questions, move on to automation and create rules that will free you from routine work. Templates will guide you on which rules to start with. So I hope that the insights I've shared with you today will help you achieve your marketing goals, seek your perfect campaign time balance, test new keywords and custom product pages, automate processes, and leverage new technological solutions. I'd be happy to connect with you and discuss further. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn for experience sharing. And now I see that we have additional time for the Q&A session. Thank you for your activity in the chat. It's really great. David, please read out the question from our listeners. I'm ready.
With pleasure. By the way, first of all, before I do, what a session. Thank you so much. Everybody, can I get obviously a virtual clap for Marina? Thank you so much. Okay. the first question from Gabrielle. How do you deal with increased competition when scaling Apple Search Ads campaign?
Thank you for this question. Indeed, competition in SA is constantly growing. More and more advertisers are discovering this network and launching their ad campaigns, and this trend will intensify. So I think that competition will grow. I see two ways to win auctions. The first one is to increase the relevance score through custom product pages and test new CPPs to boost TTR. It will help you to win the auction. And the next one is to improve the monetization of your product, worked on increasing the user lifetime value. So this will enable you to raise bids and win more auctions too. This is two main idea that I have.
Great. Excellent. Second question. What strategies do you recommend for localizing Apple Search Ads campaigns effectively? Good questions.
Yeah, thank you for this question too. Also, I didn't discuss localization today. It's a crucial aspect for us at Highly, and I like to share our key principles. The first one could be, the first one is to translate your CPPs accurately, and if possible, get help from native speakers. Also, next, use visuals that your audience can relate to, like images or their surroundings and people. Also, you can customize your CPP with region-specific keywords for better search visibility. And maybe the last, adjust your CPPs to fit local holidays, traditions, and humor. Be mindful of local rules and sensitivities. And the main is to remember that it's not just about translating words, it's about connecting with your audience in a way that matters to them. That's all.
Yeah, great suggestions, great, obviously, insights there, Marina. Okay, last one. How do you effectively manage budgets when scaling Apple Search Ads campaigns?
Thanks. I manually control the budget of the campaign level, and the main principle here is not to allow your daily budget to be exhausted in less than 24 hours. Such limitations prevents the algorithm from working optimally. If you hit the daily budget limit, you have two options too. The first one, you can increase the size of the daily budget so you don't spend the entire 100%. And the second one, stay within the daily budget, but reduce keyword speeds so you don't spend the entire budget. That's all.
Excellent. Excellent insights. Excellent presentation. Thank you so much for being with us today. Really, really appreciate it. And yes, have a great day and week ahead. Appreciate it, Marina. Thank you so much. Excellent. And now we move on to our next session with three wonderful, amazing people. Okay, first, let me introduce these super women of Splitmetrics. Ksenia is our lead product manager. Hannah Kachelka, head of sales. Anastasia, product manager. How we doing, ladies?
Amazing.
Excellent.
Doing good. Hello.
Oh, I'm super excited to introduce you, wonderful ladies. And you know what? I'm even more excited to pass the floor to you. Over to you, ladies. Quick introduction, and we are super excited about your presentation. Cannot wait. The Splitmetrics superheroes experts are here today. Thank you, ladies. Over to you.
Thank you, David. And before I start, I actually wanted to thank Marina, who presented great insights about Apple Search Ads best practices, really insightful, and it's always great to hear expert advices. Thank you, Marina. Again, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited about the features Splitmetrics Acquire product team is going to reveal for all of us today as well. And let's get started. I'd suggest starting with the short introduction of the speakers today. I'll start first. My name is Hanna Kochalka. I'm head of sales at Splitmetrics, and I have over 6 years of experience in the mobile marketing world, with over 3 years in sales leadership positions. Ksenia, over to you.
Thank you, Hannah. Everyone, hi. I'm glad to be here. My name is Ksenia Artemenko. I'm a lead product manager at Splitmetrics Acquire with more than 5 years experience in product leadership in e-commerce and at tech. And today I will present the demo of our platform, several new launches, big updates of our platform. I'm happy to be here. Please, Anastasia, your turn.
Hey there. Hi, thank you, Ksu. Yeah, I'm Anastasia. I'm also a product manager here at Splitmetrics. It's been a path. It's been 8 years of experience in building products in MarTech and digital and mobile for me. And in Splitmetrics, I'm mostly covering the campaign optimization and all types of automations, and including the ML-driven bidding optimization. So later on, I'll guide you through some of the advanced automation features of our service. Thanks. Hannah.
Thank you, ladies. Great to have you here. Let's kick off the presentation then. Today we'll talk about the main pillars and mission of Splitmetrics Acquire, and then zoom in to the product features during the live demo, and then also share a few case studies, successful stories of the Apple Search Ads optimization and scaling with you. Also, please feel free to shoot any questions in the chat along the way. I hope we'll reserve a few minutes at the end of the session to address them. All right, then. I know many of you are already familiar with Splitmetrics Acquire. Many of you are already successfully using it. And for those who might be new to it, Splitmetrics Acquire is an AI-driven app growth platform that brings market and competitors intelligence to mobile marketers. Our mission is to help mobile marketers work smarter, faster, to ensure their app growth. And great news for you guys who attend this session, attention. By the end of the presentation, we will share an exclusive opportunity to join our early access program for free. It is limited offer for the first 50 participants who sign up today. So stay with us until the end of the session and get your register link. Don't miss it. Cool. Getting back to our mission then. To accomplish it, our vision of product stands on 3 main pillars. The first one, features that give app marketers control, customization, confidence at scaling their Apple Search Ads campaigns. The second is dynamic AI-driven automation and optimization strategies. All of this for comprehensive automation of your campaigns. And the third one is data-driven market insights that help app marketers gain a competitive advantage and also get a lot of transparency into what is happening behind the scenes. Let's break these pillars into more details and see what functionality we have behind this. With this, I pass the floor to Anastasia, a lovely product manager, to dive deeper into the platform's functionality and use cases. Anastasia, over to you.
Yay, thank you, Hannah. So let's dive in. The first pillar, as you can see, this is all around the control, the customization, the confidence, but at scale. So And this means that we are offering such features like the ad manager with the visual access to all levels of the full funnel, including the special view for custom product pages and ads, all of the types of the advertisements that we have available on the App Store. And the second part of it, these are the features such as market segmentation that allows us to view performance data for the individual markets, individual storefronts on your campaigns running across multiple countries or regions. So this is very, very handy to see the segmented exact view of your performance. Let's go next. So the pillar number 2, it actually includes the, as said already, the dynamic AI-driven automation and optimization strategies to drive great results. And this actually includes an offering of over 500 automation rules and all kinds of smart alerts that give close to limitless opportunities of streamlining and optimizing workflow of the campaign optimization. The rules are really, really cool, and they cover many, many use cases. So I strongly recommend to use them a lot, but that's not it. Actually, in this pillar, we also offer the bid strategy. This is our proprietary AI-driven smart bidding algorithm that enable a multi-factor optimization and lead to incremental growth within the companies. So the bid strategy will fully automate the bidding process on campaign level with the ML-powered algo that uses the holistic approach to predict the keyword performance and to not only reach the target KPI that is set by our client, but also to maximize the number of key conversions, resulting in lower cost per action and the spend levels. So this is very, very cool. The third pillar, our best-in-class data-driven market insights, ensuring the competitive advantage. And the unique insights will help actually to make the best decisions using the automation features that I've already covered. So that is why we offer here features such as an advanced keyword planner, the CPP intelligence for monitoring and analyzing the custom product pages of your competitors, as well as Keyword Gap, our newest feature that makes a complete semantic competitive analysis possible. So we'll cover those 2 last extensively during our demo with Q. And with this, I'll pass the mic back to Hannah. Thank you.
Thank you, Anastasia. Really insightful highlights. Can't wait for the demo. We believe that such technical scope is necessary to help mobile marketers counter key challenges they face. Right now, with close to 6 million apps and a dynamically growing mobile app market, the competition is becoming really intense, and this is something you've heard also during Marina's session. This means that bringing new app to the market can be really hard and expensive. And again, this not the limit yet. The App Store evolves, and with new opportunity, the complexity of app growth increases again. App marketing is becoming much more complex. Seasonal campaigns, localization to enter global market, custom product pages to enable precise communication, to increase your TTR, again, new ad placements. And I'm not mentioning here the industry challenges everyone is facing with now. All this is driving the complexity of the activity we should do and keep in mind to be successful in this really, really competitive landscape. So to navigate in this environment, data and insights are more important than ever before. To succeed, mobile-first companies look for, as you can see on the screen, advanced AI automation, optimization solutions, intelligent data-driven insights, mobile growth expertise, scalability, efficiency, support, at all of the stages of app growth. So let me make a quick pause here. And before we switch to the next part, I'd like to invite our event team to launch the poll, which we prepared for you based on these challenges that I've just mentioned. Okay, so the question we have here is, what are your biggest challenges regarding Apple Search Ads? You have quite a long list of options here. Please take your time to choose the ones that resonate with you. We'll get back to this in just a couple of seconds. Well, basically, maybe 10 seconds. So you guys have just 10 seconds to vote. And in the meantime, I'll continue with my presentation. Getting back to my slides, in this complex and challenging environment for the app market, we at Splitmetrics strive to give our clients a full funnel market insights and competition view. The event team, before we switch to the next super interesting part of our presentation, do we have the results ready? Amazing, thank you very much. So what do we have here? The most frequent answer is high CPA for Apple search ads and finding top performing keywords. Awesome, thank you everyone for your participation in the poll. I hope the next part of the session will address many of the challenges you mentioned here, especially those related to keywords research. So now our dear product manager, Ksenia, will take over to show you how Splitmetrics Acquire handles all of these challenges. Ksenia, over to you.
Thank you so much. We will start our demo from general overview of Splitmetrics Acquire. Then we will switch to 2 stars of our presentation, custom product page intelligence and keyword gap features. And finally, I will show you how our data-driven insights are implemented and in our platform, and how you can use those insights to optimize your ROAS, CPA better and better and better. Let me share my screen. And as everyone said, that profitability is the king, and keep efficiency, your Apple Search campaign under control, keep your budget under control is something very important for everyone who runs Apple Search ads. That's why with our overview dashboard, you can quickly identify trends, biggest changes, top list contributors, or slice data by storefront, ad placement, and make more informed decisions. But what if we want to analyze the full funnel? Everyone mentioned full funnel. Let me show you how it looks. With our customizable and flexible dashboards, on each level, you can quickly set up for each member in your team proper metrics, such as conversion ROAS or separate ROAS for each conversion, spend, conversion revenue, and so on. With detailed overview, you can quickly find how tendency depends on each other. And with our full funnel view, we can start analysis from the top of the funnel, from spend, impressions, stop, cost per don't load, and so on. Moving further to the top of the funnel, all conversions and all conversions revenue, as well as ROAS, also available. But in our overview dashboard, you also can track separately each type of event and build micro conversions, something like a conversion between trial and subscription, or a conversion between sign up and purchase. And more importantly, for more detailed analysis, we recently released a bunch of cohort metrics. Each metric can be tracked as cohort from day 0 to day 30. It's kind of flexible way to analyze user behavior at the beginning of their journey in your applications. For those publishers who monetize their applications not only with purchases or subscriptions, we also can suggest to use ad revenue feature, allowing you to analyze activities across your applications. As Anastasia mentioned, that our beautiful market segmentation feature allowing you to analyze the keyword key ad groups, campaigns across the whole account with market segmentation and track the full funnel, not only Apple Search metrics, but also for instance, installs, purchases by each market, and probably manage your budgets more efficiently. When we talk about full funnel, and everyone mentioned that custom product pages is something new, and Apple Search Ads recently launched several places, changes, requirements for custom product pages and placements, it's important to track and keep under eye the performance of custom product pages. And with Special View, we offer our clients to identify spend allocation, maybe compare custom product pages between each other across the whole account again, across your markets again, between default product pages, custom product pages, see spend allocation, or quickly switch to more detailed full funnel view and make more informed decisions about your custom product pages, how they perform, how they look, and what's the product page each time. Quickly access for the App Store for quick overview. As I said, that Apple Search Ads run different places, but not only the complexity of Apple Search Ads with different placements happened right now, and in your competitor landscape, a lot of competitors right now publish applications, run offering, and change categories. And I'm happy to present our first stars is CPP Intelligence solution, allowing you quickly find all the custom product pages, not only custom product pages, also default product pages, and compare their performance with your application and find some correlation or define and uncover their strategies. You can easily select from top paid or top organic results the competitors, or search for a random competitor and easily get in one click all the custom product pages for this particular storefront. How we can use this information? Firstly, you can quickly check where the user attention attracts the more. With impression share, you can compare default product page of the competitor with custom product page of competitor and find what are the keywords which are using the competitor when they show this custom product page. I'll show you later how to use this information, but let's dig deeper into the content. We also show all the preview for each custom and default product page. For instance, you can identify tendency and features which are your competitor is promoting on Apple Search Ads. Then you identify what are the keywords and the cases how you can identify some tendency and trends. For instance, you can find more popular keywords for that custom product page and find where your share of voice less than 30%. It means that you're losing for this particular keyword. In terms of winning, you also can quickly find those keywords in the list and find your share of voice and who else are bidding on this keyword across the market, across the United States. What else useful in this view? I would suggest track our ML-based metric, brand protection. You can quickly identify what are, firstly, the brand keyword, your own brand or other brands. For instance, here you can see that the GoPuff application is bidding on the several branded keywords. And additionally, you can quickly sort the brand protection and maybe use those keywords in your strategy and try to bid on on keywords with low protection. With our CPP intelligence tool, you also can quickly add those keywords in your ad group. Let me show you if it exists, or you can export keyword or create a new ad group. In my example, I can use my application and easily add the keyword in existing ad group. So the tool provides your useful insights, and you can make more informed decisions about your competitor strategies. Another thing that I wanted to show is a search by a keyword. It's something completely new on the market. For instance, if you are doing a research of a particular feature for your application, or you try to understand what are the visual trends of this feature for this market, you can easily and quickly find all the CPPs which were using by your competitors and other publishers in this storefront. You also can see how the user attention is allocated across different competitors. What are the creatives of those competitors, whether there is some trends like for groceries, some specific naming, wording, creatives, pictures, and so on. And again, you can use this information for better performance of your custom product pages. And another thing that I wanted to show you is completely new on the market. It calls Keyword Gap. But firstly, I just wanted to remind you how previously this amazing feature, we tried to find relevant keywords for your application. Firstly, the most simple way, use mining tools like keyword discovery in SplitMetrics Acquire or other tools. Then to add them in a particular ad group, test the profitability, install rates, revenue from those keywords, and then make decision how to move and how to use in your semantic core those keywords. Another way is running search match on campaigns, find search terms with enough amount of impressions, then test in proxy or probing campaigns, find post-install metrics, find their performance metric, and then move those keywords into your campaigns and work with those keywords and optimize those keywords. It seems that the process was highly time-consuming and costly, and with our Keyword Gap solution, we tried to solve this thing. And during my demos with clients, everyone was shocked how it's easy to find uncovered keywords, and those keywords which will be relevant especially for your application, because you do know your competitors, you know your market, you know everything about it, but you don't know about their semantic core, and we can do it. Also, from top paid or top organic suggestions, you can find the gap with your competitors. With keyword overlap, you can find unique keywords in the account, your account or your competitors on this market. Switch to side-by-side comparison with a particular competitor, or work precisely with the semantic base. Firstly, we cover all the market, and you can simultaneously compare with up to 3 competitors, but we don't limit your comparisons. As long as you want your competitor, you can use the tool and find more and more keywords. Missing opportunities show you 2 kind of insights. Firstly, those keywords which exist in your account already but don't have enough bids or were paused due to some limitations in your strategy. Or you can find only new, completely new, which are not using in United States in your campaign. And how you can work with this information. We provide a comprehensive set of metrics, again, the same set of metrics in which are using in our other tools: brand protection, search popularity, organic ranking, share of voice, organic results, top 10 apps by SEO, and of course, Apple Search Ads impression volume. So how we can use this information? Firstly, you can sort by impression volume or by search popularity and identify top potentially performing keywords. It means that users are looking for those applications, and maybe it's a great strategy to take those keywords into account and use in your semantic core. Also, you can easily filter search popularity more than 20 and find more relevant keyword, or you can, for instance, find only generic keywords and use in your hypothesis those keywords. Another subsection is shared keywords. This subsection will give you the following insights about your semantic core and how your competitor are bidding on those keywords as well. Firstly, you can use top 10 apps by SEO and find new competitors for your application by keyword again. Or you can here find the medium and low protected keywords. All of them are brand keywords, and you can find here some insights. Maybe you need to adjust your bids and increase bid and try to make your strategy more aggressive and get more impressions, more installs, and more revenue, of course. The third subsection is My Unique Keywords. My Unique Keywords can show you only your keywords in storefront, and how you can use this database as well as shared keywords. Firstly, I would recommend to check who is bidding on your own brand. As I see that my competitors are bidding on my keywords, and here I wanted to pay attention the brand protection, how well is protected the keyword, and what are my share of voice right now, and maybe it's a place to adjust bids to protect my brand keywords. Second case for My Unique Keywords, also try to find some correlation between your brand, other brands, and define the strategies of your competitors. Speaking about those metrics and insights and automation on each level, including keywords, you can use 360-degree view and find the correlation between your changes and your organic results, your performance results, your revenue, completely easy. And moreover, we provide the same set metrics. You know that usually in the structure, because we are running the Apple Search Ads for different cohort of users, usually we have a bunch of keywords with the same text, with the same match type. We show it as a list and provide insights not by unique keyword, by each keyword, for each group, for each cohort of users. And as I said, that this is something valuable for you to understand how your changes can improve or I hope not, make it worse, your results. With our full funnel view per particular keyword, you can see the tendency across your performance metric, full funnel metrics in general, and additionally, of course, provide search popularity, organic ranking, share of voice, impression share, and its changes over time. But for full transparency, we also provide a quick annotation who, how, and when made changes and how it affected your performance, your organic results. And I will kill you. You can use all the bunch of metrics in our automation rule. It's something incredible and completely flexible for you, and you can use this approach and implement the data-driven insights on your bid strategy, budget strategy, and make your Apple Search Ads more efficient. But what if we want to optimize Apple Search Ads with more sophisticated ML-driven approach? And yes, our product can cover it. As my colleague said, that we do have ML-based strategies. And I'm happy to pass the floor to Anastasia, who will share the results and provide use cases.
Yay, thank you. Oh my God, Xiu, that was impressive. I really loved the presentation, quite insightful, and a lot of features actually to nail the whole performance of the App Store. I'll try to keep it short because we are really literally running out of time, but here you can see on the graph, so just a few details here that actually our email is capable of. So here you can see right immediately after the launch of the ML, the impressions and the tabs were raised by 127% and 168% respectively. And actually in less than 3 weeks, the target CPA was reached while actually reducing the ad spend. So quite a good result from the ML strategies. And the second case here, you can see that there was a 34% drop of spend while getting more in-app actions at the same time. So it's a great example of the bid optimization that actually led to almost 17% raise of the target actions, and the CPA was reduced by 43%. This is everything that that we need, actually, the effect that user acquisition is normally looking for. So I'm done with that, but some more case studies from Hannah, please. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Anastasia and Ksenia. I'll be real quick to wrap up this presentation by covering a couple of successful cases. The first one I'd like to share is OctaFX, a mobile trading app. They've integrated Splitmetrics Acquire into their standard workflow by using it daily to monitor the growth of activations, changes in spend, share of voice, to measure the efficiency of their campaigns. And also they've been actively using custom product pages intelligence. So the result is on the screen. The app enjoyed a more than 100% growth of activations in the key Asian markets. The second case is the case that belongs to Musician. It is a Helsinki-based music education company. They were looking for a solution that could help with both automation and reporting, and ideally consolidate everything in one place. So Splitmetrics made it possible. In effect, guitar lessons by Musician managed to grow trials 1.5 times compared to the previous 12 months and decrease cost per trial by 40% in a year. What's more, the client highlighted the importance of automation and intelligence tools for the overall results. So thank you. We're now at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for your participation. And thank you, my great colleagues, Xiu and Anastasia, for the feature highlights. David, over to you. It looks like there is not that much time for the questions, right?
It is not, but I tell you what, that was so insightful. I have to say, ladies, wonderful, wonderful presentation, great insights, use cases, and great presenters too. Maybe next year for App Growth Week, we might have 1 or 2 new presenters or 2 hosts. You never know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one more thing, something I promised at the beginning, a register link for the free access to the platform. Please track it in chat. It should be available.
It is available as we speak there. Hannah, Ksenia, Anastasia, thank you so much, ladies. Wonderful presentation. And
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well done, ladies. Great stuff. And now we are moving on to our next session. And boy, have we got a surprise in store. So as we can see, look at all these wonderful faces. And our next session is going to be a panel session. And as you know, we are going into the holiday season. It is the season to be jolly. La, 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 la. Oh, Ben, you've changed your shirt. Very nice.
Well, after you called me out from the last session for not having us anywhere near a brighter shirt, I decided to match the energy if possible.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is here quickly before we jump into this amazing panelist, okay? In the chat, okay, type 1 if you like Ben's shirt, or type 2 if you like my shirt better. Let's get it going. Come on, let's go. I think Ben's shirt is nicer. He looks better too. You don't look as serious anymore. Listen, guys and girls, cannot wait for this session. I'm going to pass it over to your wonderful self, Ben, and thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to the insights and best practices. Appreciate it. And Ben, you win. Your shirt is much nicer.
I appreciate that. Although I do think the votes were fairly split between the two of us, but we'll take that anyway. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you weren't able to join my last session, I ran a session about an hour ago focusing on ASO and Apple Search Ad Synergy and the impact AI can be used to effectively, powerfully support you in those efforts. All that aside, my name is Benjamin Joshua Pugwash Collins Jones. The reason for that is my parents think that they are funny. And I'm a member of the customer success team here at Split Metrics. I have a star study cast with us here today. The session's topic is scaling seasonal UA campaigns, unlocking the power of creatives and multi-channel approaches to boost ROAS. Try to say that 4 times fast after having some mulled cider, which is relevant because we are looking at seasonality here today. And as we're all very aware, the holiday season is already upon us. You've already probably been inundated with the seasonal adverts on television, music in the shops, or even decorations in all of your local areas. But I'd like to introduce the team that we have here today. As David already said, they are a fantastic group of people. I do apologize. They have a really impressive background and skill set. I did try to memorize it, was unable to do so. So I will go through and have to read off my notes in order to make sure I get everyone's name and all their experience right. In no particular order, Ben Bowen, Partnerships Manager for Adjust. For today's session, we're going to call him Ben 1 and I will be Ben 2. Ben is responsible for overseeing product and commercial-based strategy partnerships with extensive experience in programmatic advertising, mobile management, and brings a wealth of experience to the field of mobile marketing. Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, Ben. How are you? Oh, I'm
Ben. Good, thank you.
I'm appreciative that I got the 1 title, so thank you. I'm good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. This is my last session of the day. I've had lots of fun so far talking to the chat and everything, and I'm excited to hear your insight. Moving on to our second speaker, we have Michael King. He's the head of growth at US Moloko. Michael has spent over 20 years of digital marketing experience, with about half of that time dedicated to performance mobile marketing. Michael currently heads up the consumer vertical at Moloko, focused on driving effective outcomes via operational machine learning. That was a mouthful, but Mr. King, how are you?
Doing great. How you doing?
Not bad, thank you. I have actually been Googling how to pronounce this to make sure I get this right today. Ashley Paducci, head of customer insights and measurement at TV Scientific. With over 18 years of experience, Ashley is a seasoned leader in performance marketing, adept at merging technical expertise with visionary leadership, currently serving as the head of customer insights and measurement at TV Scientific. Ashley is dedicated to helping both prospects and clients grasp the potential of performance TV for their brands. I have actually worked with TV Scientific in a previous life. You're a fascinating company. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Hi, Ben. I'm great. Thank you. And you pronounced my last name perfectly. How are you?
I'm not bad, thank you. I'm glad you said that because I am unfortunately going to butcher my colleague's surname in a second and I can't apologize enough. So I'm glad I got one of the 2 right. Our last speaker, and by no means least, Daya Rachivkava, a senior account executive at Split Metrics. She's a mobile growth enthusiast with a proven track record of driving user acquisition and engagement for apps. With 3+ years of experience in the mobile marketing industry, Daya has developed a deep understanding of the factors that contribute to the success of mobile apps. This is actually my second meeting today with Daya, one with a customer, now one with all of you lovely people. Hey, Daya, how are you?
That's it, right. Hi, everyone. Doing good. Hope likewise for you as well.
Thank you very much. Right then, We have some questions prepared, and we also have the opportunity for you to use the chat function as well to ask questions as we go. We hopefully will have enough time to get to them. If not, myself and the rest of the team who have been in the background answering the questions as we go will pick them up after today's session as well. To make the sessions as interactive as possible, there'll be a few polls for you, and we'll start by having one right now. Poll 1 being, what challenges are you facing when planning your seasonal UA campaigns? So please do answer that in, that's just popped up on your screen. And if you do have a other challenge that isn't included in that list, please do put that in the chat, and we will hopefully get to those as well. While we vote on the poll, let's kick off today's discussion. With the creation of highly converting creatives, according to research, half of consumers plan to use their apps for shopping during this holiday season. Millions of apps are fighting to get users' attention, and creativity is key and king in these situations for ultimately every successful campaign. What elements should creative enterprises have, and which format is the most converting ones? Michael, you are going to be my victim / first answer to this question. With lots of campaigns being optimized through Molecule DSP, you must observe a lot on your end. What creative approaches have proved to have been most successful, and what recent seasonal campaigns have been ran by your clients?
Sure. Yeah. Happy to take it on first. So what's worked well for us actually is our dynamic product ads. We call it DPA. So this actually leverages our advanced machine learning, our ML models, to show actually the relevant ads to each user and then optimize it automatically. So some statistics on that recently, performance when utilizing the Moloco DPA compared to just regular static ads, we've seen actually a 280% increase in ROAS, 118% increase in CTR, and then 107% increase in conversion rate. So good stats there. And then specifically for the seasonal campaigns, for UA campaigns, what works well is, really just customizing that seasonal creative, i.e. fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, while in tandem utilizing that DPA product that's really has proved out for us.
I mean, those are pretty impressive numbers. If you don't mind, I'm then going to throw this over to Ashley. Being an expert in CTV campaigns, what should UA managers start when they're planning to launch a holiday CTV campaign, and what should they keep in mind as they develop that sort of strategy further?
Sure. So as they're starting the holiday CTV campaign, certainly think about who the audience is and how that changes throughout the season. So you want the strategy to align to the behavior as the season goes on. Early in the season, you might be starting by targeting your typical audience, but how does that expand as the weather changes, as co-viewership changes? With CTV, you are on the biggest screen in the house and you have attention for 30 seconds, and you might have the attention of the friends and the family that are viewing in the home with you. So now you want to think about how do you capture attention with the creative and align that creative strategy to the audience strategy throughout the season. So are you changing audio as season goes on? The call to action, how does that change? The where the actors are, if you're using actors with the gameplay, for example. So all really important elements, and also keep it aligned to where you are in the season. And don't forget about those new devices and how you're going to target those as you hit the end of the holidays.
Excellent. It's a very interesting point, particularly around, considering every single element, where are they positioned, what you're doing with that. With that in mind, I'm going to switch over to Apple Search Ads more specifically and speak to Daya to give some context to this question. According to the app figures, 61% of top apps overall use Apple Search Ads, and iOS users tend to make more in-app purchases than Android users. Daya, what's the best way to attract the right audience with your seasonal creatives?
Well, basically, I would say the biggest answer here is custom product pages, because basically they can help us to pinpoint the audience with the best value proposition we want to offer them and with the best visual that they would be interested in to view basically. But please keep in mind is that not all of the holidays are equally presented in different locales. For example, as we have traditional Christmas and New Year, in Asian countries, they have their own New Year. So be please aware that while pinpointing the audience, take into consideration all unique cultural perspectives of it. And based on the feedback of our clients, for example, if you look at a couple of years ago, our clients were thinking whether to make a campaign related to Cyber Monday or Black Friday, but now we see that mainly we don't have such problem because we have custom product pages and we can differentiate the audience the way we want and participate in any activities at this festive season.
Thank you very much. I'm now going to go to Ben One. AsAdjust was one of the first MMPs in the market to launch the custom product pages support. Could you share any success stories or best practices that demonstrate what CPPs or custom product pages should contain and what they should not contain when it comes to seasonal campaigns?
I'd be happy to answer that question, Ben, too. And I'm a little jealous I didn't get a heads up about the Hawaiian shirts. I have about 20 of them in my closet. So next time. But some of the best practices that I would recommend would be, to splash your product page with, holiday spirit by crafting, a vibrant color palette that mirrors, the essence of the holiday. So if you're marketing a game, you should infuse it with, virtual gifts, festive costumes, special power-ups, all the things that basically capture the magic of the holidays. You should also boost your visibility by strategically embedding, holiday specific keywords into your screenshots. So that way you're ensuring your creatives, not only stand out, but shine brightly, catching the eyes of users, who are on the hunt for the ultimate holiday app or product. But it's also not about looks. If you showcase your app's prowess by tackling holiday challenges or elevating, the holiday experience, if you highlight these features that would shine bright during the holiday season, that's a really good thing to showcase as well. On the don'ts, on the flip side, the key to a successful seasonal campaign is knowing when to let go. So after the holiday craze has passed, you got to make sure you get rid of those creatives that no longer align with the season. So, if having those up, you're most likely to have people pass on or not really engage with the app.
Thank you very much. I think making a point of, colorful clothing, colorful aesthetics when I'm sat here in a bright Hawaiian shirt like this, I think it's a very, very apt comparison. And like you said, when to let go, probably should let go of the Hawaiian shirts back in June, as it's currently, I think, something like 3 degrees where I'm sat here in Poland at the moment. But that's an analogy that's loosely fitting the description. As we're looking at the do's and don'ts here, Michael, let's get back to you. Could you please share some examples of successful seasonal UA campaign creatives?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So at Moloco, we work with a lot of apps, especially on the consumer side in the food and delivery vertical. And recently, what has worked well are focusing on alcohol-specific campaigns to give it that extra seasonal flair. We've been promoting fall seasonal beers. We even do cocktails, even snacks, Halloween candy, things that are, attributable to the holidays. And since we're running these highly targeted campaigns to either net new users or existing users, they're able to immediately really add to cart in that purchase in that moment. It's performed very well. It's the equivalent to, when you're in the grocery store and you have that in the aisles right there, that impulse buy, right? So it works really well, converts really well. Another example, as you may know, this season is not only the holidays, but also a huge sporting time in the US. So we have right now in this time is the Mecca. We have NFL football, we have baseball World Series, we had it. We have the start to the NBA. So at Moloco, a lot of localized targeting campaigns for our RMG, real money gambling clients. This time of the year, we'll showcase local teams and what the big matchups are head to head based on people's locations. So that also drives further customization.
Thank you very much. It is a big time for sports. I'm an actual NFL Miami Dolphins fan myself for my sins. So it is interesting to see that sort of localization being here in Poland. We do still see some of that element as well. So thank you for sharing that. Ashley, let's go back to CTV campaigns. What design trends should advertisers consider when designing creatives for CTV? And I'm assuming there's also quite strong do's and don'ts that you can shed some light on.
Yeah, being in the CTV space for a few years now, I am seeing, as I watch CTV in the background, definitely a level up in the quality of the holiday creative this year. So I'm seeing a lot of more targeted, specific creative to the holidays. It's catching my ear. So a lot of time put into the audio and testing different audio, whether that's different jingles based on the time of season, something your ear recognizes so that you look up. And then you have all of the basics. So you always want branding as a do for your whole 30 seconds of creative. What is the brand, the app name, the game name, the logo of the app store? Have a call to action so that there is immediate action taken. You want them to find your app, go to the website, all of that. We love using actors with the app play or the app in hand. That certainly we have seen can convert better. In terms of don'ts, it's not a great time to take your branding out of it. I have seen some of that. You can leave the audience guessing. If you can A/B test it, but it's probably not your best bet in terms of what to do with your creative. And definitely use data. So we love to A/B test creative, understand, did this audio work versus that audio? Did this actor perform better, or this background perform better, or the logo at the bottom right versus the top of the screen? So use all of that data to help form the decisions that you make as your creative strategy goes on.
Amazing. Last but no means least, something that I know Daya and I have spoken about at length while working together. What creative trends do you advise clients to utilize when designing assets for seasonal campaigns?
First and foremost, I want to tell that I totally agree with all of the colleagues, just because even a small change could bring a drastic impact on your performance. And we see it among our clients. The ones who participate in seasonal campaigns can, by simple change of an icon, get a significant result. For example, we have one of the client who made an update for the holiday season and got 40% increase in the installs. By taking the best practices, you definitely know that it's really good to follow in the color palettes that are valuable to the season, as Ben mentioned recently. But we also know that for big brands, it's sometimes a blocker because they have a specific brand identity guideline they have to follow. But nevertheless, I would suggest to be creative, because even by adding a specific elements that are relevant to this or that season could significantly change and attract more users to your app. And of course, I would say that it's very important to use relevant and engaging text in your creatives, because we need to think about some short and bold fonts with specific tags to basically create an urgency among the users. It doesn't really matter which specific category we're speaking about. It's rather gaming or health and fitness category, or even e-commerce. Our main goal is to make our product immediately visible and make an intention to make a purchase or try an app by the end of the year, or whenever the season is when you promote your app. And I believe that in the previous session, you've seen my colleagues have shared an amazing tool that we have as SplitMetrics acquire called CPP Intelligence. So when our clients have got limited in terms of the new ideas for their campaigns, they strictly go there to find some new ideas on creatives and basically sneak and peek what clients in the market do. So I would say competitive analysis is also a great source of ideas for you.
Excellent. Now, before we move forward into sort of the next topic, we're going to talk about, I've had to put my glasses back on because we're going to look at the responses from our first poll to get to know what challenges our audience facing. There are, it was multiple choice. The two key ones we're seeing here is sort of high competition, high advertising costs, and also low retention rates being sort of the key ones that people are seeing. But there are obviously the other challenges as well. We are going to then go into, so it's good to see we're seeing some sort of common trends there. We are going to go into our next topic, which is going to be about proper channel mixing. Before we go into that, we do have our second poll. What channels are you using when running seasonal campaigns? And that's just to help us get a little bit of an understanding of what sort of channels people are using in the call today, or in the audience in the call today. Now, finding the right proper channel mix. Here, the event team have just launched that poll, but according to statistics, there are 5.7 million apps on all of the major stores, and it's rather difficult for app marketers and UA managers to make their app stand out. So, Daya, you were the last to answer the last question, but you're going to be the first to answer in this topic. Are there any specific strategies or tactics you found particularly successful for finding the right channels to run successful seasonal UA campaigns?
I was really happy to see that in the poll, it was not the most challenging part of seasonal campaigns, but nevertheless, I would say that most of us would agree that the best tactic here is to allocate your budget 80 to 20%. So 80% would be the budget or to the channels which already perform well, and 20% to the channels that you are testing at the moment. Why? Because our main goal is to allocate resources to the channel to maximize your volumes, and especially when you know the channel pretty well and it shows great results, there is no goal to make the strategy in any other way, because we need to get the most of the high season for our app. Secondly, it would be really important to analyze if, for example, you don't have a specific historical data to get a better understanding on how to allocate your budget. It would be great to make a seasonal campaign a bit in advance, because all ad channels need some time and some sufficient time for the learning phase. So the more time we have for that, the better for us, the better results we're going to get at the end. And of course, if speaking of Apple Search Ads, for example, an App Store ecosystem as a whole, I would suggest to use multi-placement approach, because as you already know, Apple Search Ads provides a wide range of placements for you. And when you have an opportunity to combine different of those, for example, search results in collaboration with Today tab and Search tab, I believe you've heard that there are some recent updates in relates to Today tab, so it will be more interesting to test this one later on. But nevertheless, the idea is the following: is that when the user sees your app multiple times in store, he has a higher intention to make an install and later on make a purchase of your app. So our main goal is to make the mix where we have a bigger possibility to increase our visibility and in the end increase the performance of the ad campaign we've launched.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Daya. Mr. King, or Michael, sorry, I am getting an unusual amount of joy by calling you Mr. King. In your experience in the ever-changing landscape of UA channels, what multi-channel strategies have been particularly successful, and how can UA managers optimize the budget allocation among these different channels?
And Mr. King is fine as well too. I'll take both. Yeah, actually kind of interesting. So on the poll that you mentioned, one of it said competition. So I'll reference that as well. And then a +1 to Daria's 80-20 rule. If you're in that, I'll start with the 80-20. On the 80%, really focusing, if it's programmatic, ensuring a strong ROI requires that, you, as mobile marketers, we insulate ourselves as much as possible from cost fluctuations, which the high competition we really see in Q4. One way to do this for our clients, we proactively report on CPM. So maybe at the end of Q3 or early in Q4, we'll run a historical analysis for our clients and give them so examples are, you typically see CPM spike during the holiday season, and that may not be profitable or make sense for certain advertisers to compete against the big names that are running, think Amazon and Walmart. So what may be more advantageous if you want to stick with that 80% in the programmatic channel is to run during what we call Q5. So this is essentially December 25th all the way through January. Sometimes it bleeds into February. And this is when CPMs really take a sharp decline. And after the holiday season, plus there's a likelihood that users are getting new phones for the holidays, new devices. So that's another benefit. But outside in that 20% testing, I always think a good testing is to go beyond mobile and test within CTV. So it's a new and emerging channel for app marketers, as we've discussed in here as well. It has a vast user base. Viewers tend to be highly engaged, resulting in more reach and essentially brand exposure. If you do run CTV, my recommendation is to tie it back to outcomes, i.e. installs or purchase events, and then use a set attribution window. And then finally, if you're going to run in multiple channels, I always recommend that you obviously test to make sure those channels are incremental. So run incrementality test, or if you have MMM test to measure how effective each channel is at reaching those new audience. In my experience, we have a handful of clients that run what's called always on incrementality, where they're consistently measuring the lift across all their channels to see which are most performant.
Thank you very much for that. It would be remiss of me not to mention we have in our chat, the team have very kindly shared links to some seasonality guides that we have. This obviously is focusing on ASA, obviously as a course or route, but I would recommend those articles as they are going to give you a lot of insight into that seasonality approach, and also to +1, as you mentioned, the drop off that occurs with CPM in that sort of January, February period. We see that as well, and there's more information about that in those articles. To talk CTV, it would be then best to go back to Ashley. Ashley, can you kind of talk to us about any, how to dispel the doubts people may have when it comes to CTV and how it matches with other marketing channels? Do you have any sort of success stories you can share that sort of demonstrate how CTV campaigns improve other campaigns as well?
Yes, Ben, too. This is one of my favorite questions because I do live and breathe in the data. So, of course, being in the CTV world, I certainly believe that it works, but I have the advantage of seeing our customers' data before and after CTV. So, CTV is non-clickable at the end of the day. There's always another channel that is going to get credit for it. So it's really important to use tools at hand to understand what the impact is and whether it is working for your brand and it is lifting other channels. I just yesterday was looking at a 55% lift in the 2 hours before and after CTV being shown for a very large app in the store. So that's one example, that kind of lift, making just that immediate impact. So Michael mentioned attribution windows. There's that small attribution window and then the time decay that happens after that. Incrementality is an important look when you're looking at CTV, but I really have started to approach CTV as twofold. So you have the incrementality play. Is CTV bringing new audience to your brand? And then you also have the play of, is CTV helping lift conversion rate in your other channels? And I think that's what really paints the full picture, is what is it bringing new and how is it helping other channels? I have an example of a customer where at a certain frequency, CTV helps search ads and other paid channels convert at 100% higher than it does without. So that's where you get into the lift, which we like to call the halo effect of TV. It's not simply that incrementality play, but it's that halo that hits the rest of your channels. And at TV Scientific, that's part of what we do. We're here to measure connected television, help you give insights into how that's working, and paint that full picture using the always on incrementality, using halo effect, looking at before, after, and then even approaching incrementality with PSAs. I can tell you that for the largest apps that there absolutely is incrementality. We're finding that, and it takes time. I know Daria mentioned the time it takes to get a campaign up and running and have those learnings, but if you are willing to invest the time and the energy to look into the insights, you can help prove out the story that CTV does absolutely make an impact on other channels and in acquiring new audience as well.
Thank you very much. I am going to go back to Ben Wan to talk. I'm sure you've got some examples of how successful CTV campaigns can be. I know Adjust was offered the first comprehensive sort of CTV measurement solution for mobile app marketers. So can you please sort of give us your insight into, what you think CTV brings to the table and why UA managers should use this channel along with other digital ones?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been hearing that CTV definitely is a helpful catalyst for other initiatives that you have going on in your UA strategies. So, I mean, needless to say, CTV is the pivotal and increasing preferred channel that we're seeing for UA managers. So the integration of CTV with other digital channels, it does unravel a myriad of advantages, that reshape the landscape of marketers in their advertising strategy. So the thing with CTV is it provides a distinctive environment where we see users that actively engage with, premium, high quality video content, where advertisers can captivate audiences through, really visually stunning ads, which foster a deeper connection with potential customers. It's a lot better than, just seeing some random 5-second ad pop up on your phone that you're just trying to exit out as fast as possible. And it goes without saying, but CTV audiences are on a constant upward trajectory. The ongoing shift from traditional cable TV to streaming services, we're seeing more and more people cutting the cords to traditional cable TV and being really active within CTV. So with UA managers, they can gain access to a vast and diverse audience that reflects that evolving landscape of consumer preferences. But one of the CTV standout features, as we've been talking about, as Ashley said, the halo effect, is the ability to facilitate, a versatile cross-device engagement. Users can seamlessly transition from engaging with ads on their TV to taking action on other devices, so like smartphones or even tablets. So this adaptability has positioned CTV as a versatile and integral channel that our clients have been utilizing for driving user acquisition. And another great thing about CTV ads is that they distinguish themselves by being engaging and non-intrusive. Unlike traditional TV commercials, CTV ads, they seamlessly integrate into the user experience, ensuring that users are going to be paying attention to these ads that align with their interests and their preferences. And then another thing is, brand awareness. Brand awareness is great for CTV. With UA managers, they can showcase their brands and their products on a bigger screen than just a smartphone. So this experience leaves a lasting impression on viewers, contributing to the establishment and reinforcement of brand identity. And additionally, I'm just going to keep going on about CTV, but the creative possibilities on CTV are boundless. So it offers UA managers, the freedom for creative storytelling. So you have longer video formats, for that brand messaging in a compelling and narrative-driven manner, and just enhances the overall impact. So with CTV combined with the other digital channels, such as social media, search, display, it really forms a comprehensive user acquisition strategy. So in essence, CTV has emerged, at least that we've seen, as a formidable force for UA managers, offering a robust combination of a vast and growing audience, precise targeting capabilities, and the capacity to engage users, like I said, with high quality, non-intrusive ads. So the thoughtful integration of CTV with other digital channels, it forms, like I said, this holistic user acquisition strategy that guarantees a nuanced and effective approach to your advertising campaigns.
Thank you very much. I think it's been a little while since we've looked at the poll, so we should probably see what the results were of poll 2. Excellent. So we can see lots of sort of different people covering lots of different bases. It's good to see that CTV is in there, but by sounds of things, based on the great information we've seen from our teams today, CTV is definitely one that should maybe be considered more by some of you. I also saw that I think I saw in the chat someone added as an additional one being X or aka Twitter, which I don't think was included in this list as well. Excellent. So that takes us very neatly into our third topic and also our third poll. Oh, apologies. I thought there was a poll on this one. I think that was where I misspoke. Sorry for that. So we're going to be touching upon, we touched upon the creative trends, the most successful UA channels. Now let's focus on the measurement in the sort of privacy first era. Ben Wan, again, how does Adjust mobile attribution platforms help analyze seasonal campaigns performance at a channel or creative level when considering this sort of privacy first era?
Yeah. So yeah, Adjust is great for tracking and optimizing seasonal campaigns, because we're not just an MMP. We're a go-to partner for maximizing every aspect of your campaign performance. So with our attribution that we have, we can effortlessly trace user interactions across diverse channels, from ad networks to social media platforms. And, if you're curious about which channels are bringing in the most conversions during your seasonal campaign, we can give you that answer. And campaign tagging is easy. We let you label your campaigns with specific tags for seasons or promotions. And the thing about Adjust that's different from all of our other competitors is that we offer an unlimited look back window. So if you're running, Black Friday ads or seasonal ads, obviously that's what we're talking about here today. We offer that unlimited look back window, so you can check and see what was going on a year prior to that time, maybe even 2 years prior to that time. So this is something that no other MMP offers. And with conversion tracking, we also have that covered. So with that, you can know exactly how your users engage with your campaign creatives, and whether they're completing the actions that you want to see, like a purchase or so on and so on. But we can also break down the costs associated with each channel or that creative. So that really helps you calculate, ROI, and identify the most cost-effective channels, during this seasonal period. And additionally, our custom event tracking, lets you define specific user actions, providing insights into the various stages of that user journey. So you can create audience segments as well based on that behavior, to really tailor in on your seasonal promotions. And then, fraud, that's another thing. When you're doing your seasonal campaigns, you want to make sure that what you're seeing is true. And Adjust covers that as well. We include our fraud prevention, which is going to help with your seasonal campaigns as well, because you want to make sure that your data is clean and accurate. And then lastly, we have an award-winning BI tool, which is called Datascape. And with that, you can easily track these metrics that matter most to the seasonal campaigns. And we also offer an unlimited raw data export at no extra cost, which is another thing that separates us from our competitors. So in a nutshell, Adjust empowers mobile advertisers and UA managers with a comprehensive understanding of their seasonal campaign performance. So, we're not just a tool. We look at ourselves as a partner in driving success for, your seasonal promotions or whatever's most important to you.
Thank you very much. Continuing down that sort of privacy-centric area that we talked about, I'm going to throw over to Mr. King. SK Ad Network, or SCAD Network, was launched, I think, 4 years ago, and then the Scan was launched. Scan 4.0 was launched about a year ago. What are the challenges this raised, and importantly, what also opportunities were raised because of this?
Sure. Yeah. overall, I think I tend to look at opportunity or challenges as opportunities. And I think you sort of have to when you're presented with a challenge such as scan. And then ironically enough, so you said it was 3 years ago for iOS 14 drop. I know that specifically because I started at Moloco 3 years ago. And it was, heads down at that point. But that's when iOS 14 fully dropped. We took a similar approach then as we're doing now, in the sense that everyone's in the same boat, right? In the mobile space, they all have to deal with this. However, they may be in a different timeline or simply just need more education on what we feel is the best course of action. So again, what we feel is taking a proactive consulting approach, work closely with our clients to find the best solution that works for them, right? And we're following that same playbook for the transition to scan, in proactively meeting with our clients, setting them up with a set of best practices to mitigate as many challenges as possible. But to specifically answer the question, I'll break it down into the challenges and opportunities. On the challenges side, understanding and adapting to the new scan method, being an MMP and then transitioning over to scan, because they're two very distinct and different attribution approaches. First, on the MMP, they rely on attribution windows for CT and VT. Scan relies on fidelity type. A typical MMP attribution window is 7 days for CT and typically 1 day or 24 hours for VT. Fidelity type for scan, you either have a 1, which is a 30-day window, which is huge, and then 0, which is that 24-hour window. So due to these differences, there's inevitably going to be discrepancies between the MMP and scan reporting when you're attributing conversions. So understanding how to measure these, your performance is critical. So that's a challenge that we work with on our clients. On the opportunity side, specifically looking at Scan 4.0, you're going to have more post-install action. There'll be the 3 postbacks that follows after that first install. So it gives you more insights into the user journey and beyond the initial install. And then really understand what post-install actions are important to you, the advertiser, in your app. So test and build different conversion schemas to help translate scan and measure that interpret to you specifically for your app. And then at last, creative insights. By utilizing additional scan source ID, we can understand the creative, which creative is significant, and that's a big change from before as well.
Thank you very much. I quite liked the sentence opportunities, challenges as opportunities, which I think is a mentality I think we all would like to take a little bit more on our day to day. So thank you for sharing that. I do have a question for Ashley. TV Scientific a few months ago launched a cost per outcome model, which I think is very exciting, particularly as I think the pressure marketers and UA managers are having more and more to achieve positive ROAS and ROI. This is important. So from your perspective, what sort of things do you recommend or ensure your customers are doing to ensure the best ROI when it comes to CTV?
Sure. So we're super excited to have launched the cost per outcome method. And what that is we take the risk at the end of the day. So we work together to decide on the outcome that you will pay on, and that outcome really becomes the currency between the two of us. So if it is installs, for example, rather than paying on the CPM, you're paying on the install having happened or the purchase having happened. And the way we make sure this is successful is we really use a combination of our team of experts and AI learning to drive the most outcomes as possible across strategies that are working. So we take on, in the cost per outcome model, we take on the strategy entirely. You're responsible for the creative, and we work closely with you to still surface things like, is this incremental? Is this driving halo effect? And the customer has full visibility into the outcomes that are being measured against.
Thank you very much. Now we are coming towards the end of today's discussion. I do have one last question that I'd love for each of you to answer. Unfortunately for time, I am going to try and get you guys to get it under 60 seconds if possible. The question being, can you please share the top recommendations for marketers and mobile marketers when it comes to reshaping their seasonal UA campaigns? And Ashley, if you don't mind, I'll start with you.
Ooh, I'm first. Okay. First of all, creative matters. With that being said, don't let it stop you. So we don't want creative to feel like a hurdle. We can help you get there, whether that's using UGC, helping you, slice different pieces together and add your branding. It can happen quickly. So creative matters. Start now. So it sounds like a lot of you have not actually started with CTV. There's still time to get learnings in for Q4, and you'll have those learnings going into 2024 that will help you shape your marketing strategy. Expand your audience. CTV is not one-to-one like your typical mobile audiences. You're targeting a household. So there are often multiple individuals in that house. And test and learn will be my last test. We test and learn all the time, understand what's working, build on that, what's not working, get it out of your mix and expand more.
Thank you very much for that. Daya, we haven't heard from you for a little while. Don't worry, we hadn't forgotten. We'd love you to go next.
Oh, I have a couple of advices, and basically the first one is prepare in advance, just because it doesn't matter whether we speak about marketing campaigns inside the stores or any other channels. Be aware that the more time you have, the better, and the more time you have to promote yourself during the holidays, the better. Ben at the very beginning mentioned that SplitMetrics created many useful materials related to seasonal campaigns, and I would highly suggest you to visit our website and look at Ultimate Seasonality Guide, because our team has collected lots of recommendations there, especially the calendar, where you can see at what time you are to basically start promoting your app before the holiday season starts, basically. Of course, review your budget, because especially when we have a couple of holidays in a row, we should not spend all of our budget in the first holiday and have zero for the last. So prepare your budget in advance and review it accordingly from holiday to holiday. And of course, make localizations for your ads, because we're in a global world, and you know that cultural differences matter a lot. So the more you prepare, the better. In this case,
I want to just add a +1 to Daya's point about looking at some of the great resources. I know our team have been putting them into the chat. There is some great ones to get you started there. The only thing I would say you didn't get right was I'm Ben 2, because we are now going to go to Ben 1 to get his insights.
It doesn't. I mean, I think that doesn't. It's really funny. It keeps making me laugh. The Ben 1, Ben 2. So keep it coming. But like I said, I'm a Ben, so I should find that funny. Sorry, you said 60 seconds. So plan early and strategically. So I would start planning your seasonal campaigns well in advance to ensure that you have a clear strategy in place. Tailor ad creatives and messaging. So create seasonal ad creatives that resonate with your target audience and reflect the spirit of the season, like I mentioned before. Optimize for mobile experience. So ensure that your landing pages and mobile app are optimized for a seamless mobile experience. If you have been usually on web and you're now kind of venturing into mobile, this is a huge thing to make sure that's working, is just making sure that the mobile app works, really well and is user-friendly. And then, because I work at Adjust, leverage data and analytics. So use tools like us to gain insights into user behavior and campaign performance. We can help you refine your UA strategy, based on real-time data. You can implement A/B testing to compare the effectiveness of these creatives, ad placements, and audience targeting strategies. And then lastly is stay agile and adapt. So seasonal campaigns may require quick adjustments based on market dynamics, consumer sentiment, and unexpected events. So be prepared to adapt your strategy in real time. I think that was 60 seconds.
I think it was near enough, but we'll let you off. Okay, last, by no means least, Mr. King, anything you'd like to add?
I'll
burn through mine, but a +1 on everyone's. I think those are very topical. I would say, so customize the user experience towards those seasonal offerings, and when you can, potentially use deep linking. Utilize machine learning to show the right ad to the right user at the right time. And then if you can, update the App Store icon to be holiday themed. It's always helpful. And then understand that these will be your most quality users pretty much the entire year. So be willing to have a higher CPA target, or even if you can, try running a ROAS campaign and you can get those results immediately and not having to wait for the LTV. So that's another thing to test. And then, as I mentioned earlier, and I think it's in one of your notes, take advantage of the Q5. Maybe hold on to that budget from spending it early in December and then push it towards the latter half or early of January.
And I think with all odds, I think we actually managed to get that just on time. I think we've actually hit the marker right on the head. So I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to all of our fantastic speakers for taking the time to do today. It's been extremely grateful for all of you. For those of you who asked questions that we weren't able to get to, the team have been collating them. We will be in touch to answer any of those questions that you've asked that we weren't able to answer today. And as a note from me, thank you for actually joining us today and spending that time with us. I know there's a lot of opportunities out there to get a lot of information, and we're glad that you chose to spend the last hour with us. So thank you to the speakers and to you in the audience as well. Thank you very much. David, are you here with your wonderful shirt?
I am here with my wonderful shirt. Ben, number 2, how are you? And never, ever, ever let go of a Hawaiian shirt. Always keep them. Ben, number 1, next year, we're going to send you a shirt and you're going to join the crew. Guys and girls, thank you so much. What a presentation. Very insightful. Thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. And yes, now we're going to move on to the next part of our App Growth Week, which is our App Growth Quiz. So we are done with day 2, and now it is time for the quiz. We are going to have a couple of questions, which is going to test your listening skills and test your knowledge from obviously the previous sessions. Okay, so what will happen is we'll see a couple of questions come up, okay, and the fastest fingers will win a $50 Amazon gift card to spend on themselves or their loved ones. Okay, so as you can see here, question number 1. Dario from Babbel shared how they leverage custom product pages and Apple search ads to maximize customer acquisition. Question number 1. What TTR growth was reported as a result of such campaign by Babbel? Okay. Question number 2 is in related to the presentation with Ben and Thomas, using AI to supercharge Apple search ads and ASO practices. Okay, what we want to know is how many specific ChatGPT prompts were shared by Thomas and Ben in the practical part of the presentation. And the third question, last but not least, was obviously shared during the product spotlight session, you know, with our wonderful Split Metrics experts and team. Now, question is, how many automation rules does Split Metrics offer to its users? We are going to give you a couple of seconds to answer these questions. And again, as I said, the winner chicken dinner will have a Amazon voucher. Yes, we're going to go with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's closed. Okay, we will give our amazing marketing team a couple of minutes to go through, you know, the results and come back to us who is the winner. And again, we are so grateful and thankful for everybody who has joined us here today. Also as well, you know, this could not be possible without our wonderful, as you can see here, partners. Too many to mention, all the insights, all the best practices. We hope that we were able to educate you with lots of insights to give you, you know, and help you with your strategies, you know, in regards to seasonality and Apple search ads. And marketing team, do we have a winner? Winner chicken dinner. Thank you, Rachel. for the fun short. I like it. Tomorrow, another fun short. Maybe some more singing. So let me just see here now. Hold on. Do we have a winner? We do have a winner. And the winner is Christophs. And I'm going to pronounce his name very badly. Christophs Serafame. You have won a Amazon voucher. And you can spend it as you like. Courtesy of the wonderful Splitmetrics. So what's next, everybody? Well, day 3 is next. We're 2 days into marathon, and tomorrow is going to be optimization. So ASO, user engagement, testing and validation. It is going to be an amazing day tomorrow. We are going to finish off with a bang tomorrow. There's going to be lots of more insights, and as I say, let us educate you. So also as well, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And remember, just before we go, I know Hanneke Chelka talked about our starter pack. We're going to give you another opportunity, you know, in the chat there. The marketing team are going to throw it in, and an opportunity for you to be and to avail of our new starter pack. Okay, everybody, please, marketing team, if you can, put in the chat and we will see who wants to. There we go. Early bird spots. Let's go. Start their plan, start their pack just for you, courtesy of the wonderful Splitmetrics. And we might give away some more prizes tomorrow, which we sure we will. And maybe we might give away some more early bird spots. Now, before we go, we know you all love a quiz. So please, final poll. Let us know how you felt about today's session. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully you will come back tomorrow for our session tomorrow. As you can see here, please scan. You can get obviously the benchmarks. You can get the benchmark dashboard as well over there. So yeah, look and listen. Very, very grateful to all of you who joined today. Please join me again tomorrow with our wonderful Galina and myself. More funky shorts. It is going to be, you know, Funky Thursday. We're going to have a last day. It's going to be going with a bang. But again, everybody, thank you so much. We are very, very grateful from Splitmetrics. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.